Hey, it's Conrad Thompson. Thanks for checking out the podcast here on YouTube. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notifications bell. You'll get a notice anytime we upload some new content. And when I'm not asking Bruce, hey, how big was Batista's? Well, you know. One of the things I like to do is help people save money. And if you're watching this video right now and you're in a 30-year loan, man, you're overpaying your single biggest bill and you may not even realize it. I want you to do a little experiment for me. Take your calculator out, multiply your monthly house payment by 360 payments. That's how many payments there are on a 30-year loan. That big scary number, that's your total of payments. You're looking at that number? You know you can do better. Keep more of your own money right now and go to savewithconrad.com. Or maybe you've got credit card debt. Man, it's not a matter of if I can save you money with that. Your average interest rate on a credit card is more than 20%. And by the way, all the interest you pay on those credit cards, it's not tax deductible. Whereas the mortgage interest, well, that is tax deductible. So if you owe this debt, it's up to you how to pay it back. Doesn't it make sense to get the cheapest rate possible and the greatest tax deduction possible? Find out how much money you can save right now for free at savewithconrad.com. You don't need perfect credit. Even scores in the 500s can be approved, and it's no cost out of pocket. But maybe best of all, we're licensed in more than 40 states. We can help more families than ever before. But how much can we save you? Find out right now for free with a quick quote from savewithconrad.com.
What happened when?
WHW Monday. And now, let's go to the ring. And here's your co-host. Hey, it's Conrad Thompson.
Hey, it's Conrad Thompson, and you're listening to What Happened When? With the voice of your childhood, Tony Schiavone. Tony, what's going on, Daddy? How are you?
Well, I'm okay.
Oh,
I'm just like worn out, and I don't know why I'm worn out. Don't do much in life except go to TVs on Wednesday, do some podcasts during the week, and do the control centers. But I'm worn out like I'm been digging a ditch or something like that. So
it is hard work, though. I mean,
it's consuming.
Yes.
Yeah, it is. There's something to be said for having to think and be on your toes, right?
Sure.
So yeah.
And Tony, without further ado, man, we're ready to do something we've really never done. We're going to watch a little old school today, a little old school TNA. We're getting in our Wayback Machine to Destination X 2010. And you can watch along with us over on the Impact Plus app. Tony and I clicked Impact Plus at the very top, click Discover More, scroll down till you see pay-per-views, click that. Then you'll want to go ahead and find 2010. The show is 1 hour or 169 minutes, Tony. So we got quite the hill to hoe here, but I'm excited about this because you haven't seen much TNA, right?
No, I haven't. And as I was going through the Impact Plus app on my computer here, or the Impact Plus website, I saw names that I did not even realize had been an Impact. And truly, when you talk about the, I guess the first and second decade of the 2020s, or the first and second decade of the 2000s, Impact did have an impact, didn't it, in wrestling?
Oh, big time.
Yeah, didn't realize that. And then I saw Don Callis's face on one of them, and I went, hey. Tony Schiavone here to tell you about the greatest value in the history of our great sport. AdFreeShows.com. Get every episode of What Happened When and all of Conrad's other podcasts early, ad-free, and on video for as low as $9 a month. That's the price of a Starbucks coffee for hundreds of hours of video and audio content each month. That's not all. AdFreeShows.com is home to exclusive bonus content, like interactive events where you get to ask me anything during our Ask Tony live events. And if you're a Top Guy member, we got to hang out for the entire weekend in Chicago at Top Guy Weekend recently. Did I mention there's also happy hour every other Sunday with my dear, good, close personal friend, Rebel? If you call yourself a wrestling fan and haven't signed up for ad-free shows yet, you a lie. Sign up today at adfreeshows.com.
Can't all be good.
No, that's right.
Well, without further ado, fire up TNA Destination X 2010 on your Impact Plus app. Go ahead and hit that mute button. Tony and I are going to do our best to entertain you. But Tony, in order to do that, we got to have a little bit of a countdown.
And it comes from none other than Steph Chesney.
You know it's all about your money! All the shit I hate, baby! You know it's all about your
lies behind us. And what lies before us. Our tiny
Change
is
is happening.
Change is happening.
Change is happening. It's real. Damn real. I feel it. I feel it. Now is our time. Now is our time. Now is our time. It's why I came. It's why I came. That's why I'm here. We are the future.
Not only is it the return of the Ultimate X match, but Destination X will be remembered as the beginning of the rise of the machine gun.
Season, I came back to TNA. It's to reignite the flame
of the X Division. And on this historic night, I tell the world that I alone will carry the X Division to the highest of heights. This post-match was brought to you by Mr. Anderson.
What's you gonna do, AJ? What's you gonna do? What's you gonna do when the monster abyss runs wild?
Now is our time. The future has arrived.
And now, TNA Wrestling presents Destination X.
Live from Orlando, Florida. You want Magnus and March, but you come to the right place. The X Division center stage. It's the return of the high-wire spectacle. Ultimate X plus AJ Styles defends the TNA World Heavyweight Championship against the monster of the ring, Abyss, that, and much more tonight at Destination X.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your opening contest.
They win the match to determine the X Division's number one contender to win a wrestler must climb the ladder if you dream the contract.
So there you go. The stage is set. What did you think of that open, Tony?
It was pretty good. I never thought I would see Ralph Waldo Emerson being quoted at a wrestling show, but there you go.
That's got Jeff Jarrett all over it, man. He's a big quoter.
Yeah,
Likes his quotes.
yeah, likes his quotes. Well, I thought it was well done, and I have a feeling that there are a lot of, or some of the guys that work for us in production now that had a hand in that.
Oh, 100%. I mean, the whole AEW crew is old TNA guys.
Right. And here is Amazing Red, which we have seen before and loved. But I think the last time I saw him, didn't he have a mask on?
No.
He didn't? Okay. But I remember him. I remember how much I thought he was spectacular. And I talked to a couple of his buddies that work in AEW right now. Look at the Fallen Angel.
How about that?
Wow.
Looks like he's here for an S&M type situation.
Yeah, man. He darkened those eyes.
You ever wear guy liner?
No, never did do that.
I think Lois would be into it.
Guy liner? Is that what it's called? Guy liner?
Yeah.
Never heard of guy liner.
Well, you know, like Motley Crue and hair bands back in the day.
Yeah, right.
Or guy liner.
Okay. Right.
I think you should do it for Lois. Just
No, I don't. And look at Frankie Kazarian with long hair, for crying out loud. Oh, they just gave last names there. Unless that's what they went by.
He's going by Kazarian.
Okay, and then Christopher Daniels is going by Daniels. I saw.
Together, they're known as
Daniels.
Daniels and Kazarian. That's their name together.
So this was there's, look at that.
Yeah, anytime you have a contract like that, it's done in MS Word. Size 18 font, bold. Look at this space. And we're off to the races. Daniels and Kazarian in there with Amazing Red and Brian Kendrick. You haven't seen much Brian Kendrick in your life, I bet.
I haven't seen any of them, as a matter of fact. Whoa, look at that.
But can I tell you this? William Regal's two favorite wrestlers, arguably Bryan Danielson and Brian Kendrick.
Wow. Okay.
That's a pretty big compliment.
Yes, it is. Boy, Regal's doing such a great job with us in a short period of time. Not only what you see on TV, I'm talking about he's taking his time going around talking to young wrestlers. And not only just saying hello to them, sitting down with them, which I think is just wonderful. Look at that. God. I told Mark Quinn, I said, Amazing Red is amazing. Yeah. And I said, where in the hell is he? There's a website on that ladder.
Why would there not be?
That's tremendous.
I mean,
that was tremendous.
You know it's going to be in all the photos.
Yeah, it's smart, isn't it?
Yeah. Tell Tony Khan I want to buy your ladder sponsorship.
Okay, you got it. Save with Conrad?
Yeah, I mean, here's the deal. He won't love it, but Harrington will.
Yeah.
Wait, there's this goof in Alabama who's going to write us a check just for some letter. Okay. Hey, Raphael Morphine, can you help us get some letters for this line?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Ta-da. Wow, I like it. God, this kid is something else, man. And he's just not in wrestling anymore.
Well, here's the thing. It's like you can only do this style for so long.
Yeah, I know.
You start to wear down.
Sure.
And by the way, he's not an old person. I mean, we're talking about him like he's an elderly. He's 39. He's younger than me.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's like every time I see Darby Allin do these crazy stuff, I'm thinking, I wonder how much longer he's got. You know, they're just, and Darby's not the only one. I mean, gosh, everybody takes risks. And Sammy Guevara does crazy things. I just wonder sometime exactly how much. It's called a bump card, right?
Yes, and you only have so many.
You only have so many. Look at Kazarian took quite a bump that time.
He's such an underrated performer, Kazarian.
Still looks good and still can go, man.
Never hurts anybody. Everything he does looks believable.
Yeah.
Like, I've never seen Kazarian have a bad match at all.
No. And I really love calling these matches, and I love when he works, and I think it's pretty apparent the way I call these matches that I really enjoy him. And
now, you're saying that on the show, but you told me off air that he's a fucking goof.
No, I know I didn't say that. That's
I have a text message from you that says that.
By the way, the name of the shirt is "You a Lie." I tried to get one that says Conrad's a motherfucking liar, but that didn't really work on the shirt.
Yeah. By the way, Frankie Kazarian, a happy SaveWithConrad.com customer.
Very good.
How about that?
Yeah, like that. This was in Universal, right?
Yep, they ran the same crowd for free, same 1,200 people every week. Mm-hmm. That presents its own set of unique challenges.
I bet it does. Well, but it looks good as far as.
Yeah, but it was a lot like when you guys had to run the pandemic and you had to run Daly's Place every week. Like,
right.
It was cool, but eventually you're like, God, these fans have seen so much. Mm-hmm. It's just an audience fatigue. Burnout. Yeah. It's real.
Yeah, absolutely it is. Absolutely.
By the way, this show is not well received.
Really?
18.2% thumbs up, 78.8% thumbs down,
wow,
3% thumbs in the middle. This got 8 votes for the best match poll. The winner of that poll is the Motor City Machine Guns and the Young Bucks.
Okay, I look forward to seeing that. And it's surprising. You're talking about Wrestling Observer, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so Wrestling Observer, and usually the fans with Wrestling Observer would like anything that's not WWE, I would think.
Oh, no. That's not true.
That's not true? Okay.
Wrestling fans are miserable motherfuckers. I know. I am one of them.
Yeah, they are.
We are. You're allowed to say we.
Yes, we are.
This match, by the way, got 3 1/4 stars. Coming up next, we got Tara and Daffney from the Knockouts title.
Wow, one of the cameramen right there is one of our cameramen right there behind Christopher Daniels. That's Bill. He runs our Steadicam now.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
I would not want to take that bump. I've decided I don't want to take any bumps.
No, that's a good plan on your part.
I'd like to not have any bumps.
Yeah.
Can I do this without bumps? That would be my first question. Somebody comes over to me and says, hey guys, what do you want to do today? Can we do something where I don't take any bumps? I'd like to do no bumps today. If I could just do no bumps, I'll do everything you want to do.
Yeah.
No bumps for me.
Well, then you could be MJF because he takes a bump like once. How much does MJF work? A pay-per-view now and then?
Here's what I'm saying. You don't get paid based on the bump. Tony Khan's not in the back like doing tick marks, like 1 bump, 2 bumps, 3 bumps, 4.
Right.
Not reality. So, as a wrestler, I think Honky Tonk Man had it figured out. Can I work this whole match and not take a bump? Because if I can, that's what I'd like to do.
Yeah. All right, they're
You
getting
just
ready
said
to
it yourself. There's a bump card, and they look at this.
Yeah,
They're getting on top of a ladder. I ain't getting on top of my ladder. Oh, no, I ain't doing that.
Oh.
That would be like me and you trying to paint the house. Just fall off the fucking ladder.
Kendrick taking the ladder and taking
Yeah.
both Kazarian and Red out.
Which reminds me, I need to put some more Batman photos up. Last time I did, I got this ladder in the stairwell, you know, the ladder that you adjust on either side. And I climbed all the way up to the top, and I'm thinking, man, I got to get somebody else to do this. Because I don't want to bumps either.
Well, you know, our tag team name,
What's that?
No Bump Jones. That would actually be a good band name, too, when you think about it.
It would.
Well, now, welcome into the stage, ladies and gentlemen. Put your hands together for No Bump Jones.
Directly into the ladder.
Guitars to get on stage. And Taz would come out of nowhere. Boom! Leveling and said, so much for that name.
I hit him right in his yam bag.
Perfect right now for Kazarian to do anything he wants, just about.
No Bump Jones. So what'd you do this week? Anything fun?
No, I didn't do a thing. I slept.
And I'm jealous of that.
No, actually, I did one thing, and as we're taping, I'm going to go do another one right after we finish. I went to see my grandson play baseball.
Oh, how cool is that?
In a tournament, yeah, 12-year-olders. Pretty cool. He's growing. I've seen him play since he was, well, since he started when he was 6.
You know, I just saw him last week. He looked to be about 4 years old.
No,
I had no idea he was 12. They grow up so fast.
Yeah, they do.
By the way, let me just say, your grandson Noah,
yeah,
that little dude can mow through some chips. I've never seen a kid eat a chip as, I mean, it was like scientific. He was just mowing through it.
Yeah.
I don't think any went in his mouth.
Yeah.
But that chip knew he was there.
Yeah, he's badass.
As we see, Daniels.
I don't think he's going to put up with any shit when he gets older.
No, he's not. And we need to get your daughter to be his nanny.
Well, I'm for it, you know, but you won't even come to my wedding, and you reckon she's going to be your nanny?
Yeah, you never know. She, because he loves her.
Oh, she loved him.
Yeah, good stuff. Meanwhile,
these guys are having a hell of a match.
Yeah, they really are. They really are.
And I'm glad that they do not subscribe to the Tony Schiavone, Conrad Thompson life planning session of
No Bump
Jones.
Well, you could just sense the importance here.
This would not be nearly the entertaining match that it is.
God almighty. And that time, Kazarian almost went head first on that ladder.
You know what I realized? A ladder in a match is a lot like Home Alone. Like, these are the robbers.
Yeah.
These are the bad guys. And they're just going to, you know, use these household items, find a way to just bump over and over and over again with the same.
Right. I'm surprised no one ever thought of a Home Alone match to where two wrestlers start in a house and just try to work their way from the basement up.
Jeff Jarrett's had some pretty corny ideas, like King of the Mountain match and shit like that. if he's listening to this, there's a good chance when he starts Global Force Gold Wrestling, there will be a Home Alone match, probably also with Kazarian.
Yeah.
Just like a power bomb right onto the ladder.
Oh, God. God, another crazy bump. Well, I got a lot to talk about when I see these guys this week.
Gotta hurt like hell. I'm telling you.
Got a lot to talk about.
Kazarian barely makes it to the first run.
You know, you talked about fan fatigue.
Yeah.
Obviously, as you know, it happens.
Oh yeah.
And it happens during the course of an event. And sometimes, although you know, wow, great move. I love starting out hot, and you know, we start out hot a lot, as you know. You know, with Bryan Danielson wrestling the first match sometimes, but a lot of times it's, and this is true. This is true. Wrestlers are concerned about what they got to follow.
Yes.
They'll look at a card in the back and they'll say, "Wait a minute, I'm following that," and it's like somebody's got to, you know. It's like, so the positioning of matches in a pay-per-view card, even in a regular TV show, but especially a pay-per-view card, is very, very sensitive, very critical, very important. It's not an easy thing. Booking itself a match is not easy, but placement of match is not easy. Now, I don't know who's following this, but I guarantee the guys in the back are going, "Oh, fuck." And we just saw Brian Kendrick call a spot.
Defensive aspects of this match so important, as you see right
so,
there.
but, wow. But anyway, there's guys in the back right now going, "What the fuck do we got to do now?" You know?
No kidding.
So this is a tough one to follow. And there's one guy at ringside that's really into this.
Yeah, Death Valley style.
Everybody's standing. Nobody's seated.
Yeah. They probably didn't give him chairs, did they?
I love you. Oh, and that Jarrett, he didn't even give him chairs.
Shit. And his baseball team, you have to stand up, watch the damn baseball team. Okay? And popcorn's going to be $10 a container in Springfield, wherever it is.
Well, I think it was smart by Red. They didn't want to use the ladder that Daniels was kind of hanging on to.
So,
I'm glad baseball's back, by the way.
As you and I are recording, we're recording right now, right?
Yeah, we are. I don't know. You hit record on your end?
Damn it.
What?
I knew I forgot something.
Okay.
A lot of talk about your boy Cody Rhodes showing up in WWE. If you were Vince McMahon,
yeah,
and you could decide when and where and how does Cody show up, what would you do?
I had him show up at WrestleMania.
Yeah. Did you have him win the belt?
No.
So you're saying you don't think Cody should be champion?
No, I just think right now, if he'd show up right now and win the belt, that would validate AEW and Vince McMahon, and he wouldn't do it.
So if Cody ever wins the belt, it's validating AEW?
No. If he does immediately, it would validate. Once he gets in the system and starts wrestling and have matches, yes, he can win a belt. But right now.
Would you have him beat Brock Lesnar?
Not right now, no.
Would you have him beat Roman Reigns?
Not right now, no.
What would you do? Who's going to show up at WrestleMania?
You know what? I'm not a booker, but I just saw a pretty damn good match that was won by Frankie Kazarian.
He's the best, man.
Yeah.
If I was Frankie Kazarian, I'd take that contract and I'd go beat Roman Reigns. I would be in a backstage skip saying like, yeah. I know I get a shot at the belt, but I don't want this belt. I want the other one.
We've got to check out some of the awesome action in this matchup where Kazarian earns a
good job. Great opening match, man.
I mean, how about that spiral gimmick?
Yeah.
We need where's Excalibur to tell us what all this shit's called?
It's called a tornado.
That ain't real.
Yeah, that's what he calls it.
You know what that is?
I don't know what it is, but I know what he calls it.
I was just gonna say, how do you know any of that?
Because I listen to him. I call matches with him. I pick up his stuff. It's just that when it happens, and I'm going to call it, I forget, or there's a part of me that sometimes I know, this is true, okay? Sometimes I know the name of the move, but I'm not confident enough that I'm going to get it right.
Oh, confidence takes you far in life.
Yeah, it does. Lack of will hurt you.
What a match, man.
Destination X, baby. Frankie just gave us an X.
You know, I know what you're thinking when you take a look at this, and I just want us to have a conversation out loud about it. But first, let's listen to Yam Bag.
What could be better than the stars of the X Division, as we see right there, battling the four-way match? Kazarian earns that future title shot. It's Mike TNA X welcoming you to Destination X, where tonight, TNA World Heavyweight Champion, the phenomenal AJ Styles, with the Nature Boy Ric Flair, they will defend, yes, against the challenge of the monster of the ring, Abyss.
Well, I'll tell you, I just feel like AJ Styles, he's the champion. He's been running wild. He's doing his thing, man. But I feel like AJ is kind of running straight forward, right into a locomotive, man, a massive locomotive. Name Abyss. It's a nasty challenge here.
Yeah, 350-pound freight train is what you're talking about, man.
Boy, isn't it fun to watch Taz bullshit? He had no idea where he was going with that. He just made it up.
Yeah.
But I love watching. He's a pro, so he made it work.
He's a pro bullshitter, buddy.
Yes, he is. And so, yeah, you see the storyline here behind this bad Photoshop.
Yeah.
I mean, look at Flair's hair. They got to get their Photoshop together. Where was Dave Silva when you needed him?
I don't know, and I have a feeling that that's not our Photoshop guy that we had. What are they looking at here?
Ric Flair in a wheelchair.
Oh my fucking god! Oh my god! Holy shit!
See, Desmond Wolf aligned with AJ and Flair, and I guess Desmond offering the services to whip the Nature Boy out here.
I am not a happy camper. Don't be with me. Don't be with me. Bow down to me. Don't move me. I am Ric Flair. 16 times the greatest world champion of all time. And look at me now.
I am.
Not funny.
Yes, it is.
Not funny.
Oh, it is.
I have fallen off of cages. I have been slammed off of ladders. I have been thrown through tables. Hell, I crashed in an airplane. But I've never been in a wheelchair. Never. Shut up. You do what I tell you. Let's get something straight. I did not come to TNA to be immobilized. I came here for action. And right now, I'm not getting on action. So let's get this straight. You don't talk to me, I talk to you. The people that are responsible for this are Hogan and the Abyss. I'll wheel my chair down there and kick your ass right now, kid.
Yeah, mostly Abyss after that black
You
hole
don't
slam
get
on
it.
impact.
You don't get it. Ask your mother. Tonight, the Abyss and Hulk Hogan pay a price for doing this to the Nature Boy. I said ask your mother, kid. Take it back. Chelsea, take it back. You respect it. Woo! Woo!
Never forget that image.
So what'd you think of that promo?
Past Monday on Impact, the black hole
I can't-
slam Ric Flair right into the entrance ramp.
The new shirt available now at lowest full price.
Ask your mother, kid. Oh, God, here we go.
If you're doing good enough, don't ask me if you're ready. I've never seen a wrestler in this business with the momentum that you have. I've never seen anybody take the water like a duck like you have, brother. The power of the Bissites, the Bissamaniacs, brother, is like nothing I've ever seen. What did it feel like when you get your hands on Flair? I tell you, when I put Ric Flair through that ramp, I've never felt
Abyss is wearing Hulk Hogan's Hall of Fame ring here, Tony, just so you know.
Really?
I can feel
They made a whole angle out of the WWE Hall of Fame ring on TNA.
Be afraid of that power.
That it gave him special powers.
Because you've got the power.
This is a Jeff Jarrett looking thing here?
In
That's
that ring,
probably Vince
brother.
Russo.
That is going to take you everywhere you need to go in this wrestling business. And just
I'm not saying that to be dismissive.
No, but that's something that Vince would do.
Lead to the
Knowing how he
door on
looks.
your waist. Yes, sir. Go get ready,
I don't
brother.
think Jarrett claims much credit for any. Oh my God, look at that.
Got a baseball game today?
God, I didn't even recognize him at first.
It was funny. You think this is funny? I mean, you saw it. Mick Foley? You kidding me? I know. Okay. Well, you know, you did push it a little far. You know what Foley's capable of. And as far as Jarrett, him and Foley are in the same boat. Take the personal out of the agenda. Let's get back on track. You're supposed to be leading this thing with me, so let's get back to the basics, to the business of TNA, please. You're right. Give you my word, man. I'll take care of Foley, take care of Jarrett. By the end of this week, this whole thing's going to be wrapped up. Won't be a distraction. Have my word, bro. Thank you. All right, man. See you a little bit. Watch Abyss tonight. You're going to be surprised. I'll be looking. Trust me. He's got a whole Hogan haircut.
So, what'd you think of Bald Bischoff?
It completely shocked me. I did not recognize him when he first came in. Look at all these people that I know.
Next up, ladies and gentlemen,
Everybody was making a living in wrestling, but you.
But me. That's right. I saw the Demon. I saw Zack Ryder. I'm sorry, Matt Cardona.
From the moment that Tara regained possession of the championship,
wow.
She's been
That's a pretty good shot right there, actually.
Is among the most unique opponents
now, Knockouts is their women's division.
That's
that
right.
I know. That I know.
Brutality of Daffney.
All right, let's see who the
other knockouts is her
Knockouts tail.
Tara's
title equals target.
Tonight,
let's listen to that.
Champion for the first time, no question. Her unpredictability can be an asset.
Can you believe Mike tonight's still not in wrestling? What's that semi talk?
Last time I texted him, we used to text back and forth. Sometimes I texted him right before the pandemic when we were in Salt Lake City. I said, if you are around Salt Lake City, I'd love for you to come out. He said he lives 300 miles from Salt Lake City. And Salt Lake was our last event before the pandemic hit. And so that's it. He has basically done what I did and walked away from wrestling.
I think you should get him back in.
Well, I'll see what we can do.
Unique style, Indonesians. Unique in-ring
I'm disappointed.
I'd love for him to come call Ring of Honor. Wouldn't that be great?
Oh man, him and Ian Riccaboni.
Yeah, look at Daffney.
So sad, dude.
Yeah, tragic story because she was really a good person.
Punctuated by the omnipresent screen.
I got to see her at Wrestle. The last time I saw her we were at WrestleCon, which was the one in New York City.
Yeah.
And she was signing autographs. I went over to see her. Talked to her for a little bit.
Such a camera presence. And there you see Tara with her tarantula.
Okay.
Shout out to Eric Rottencrotch, great friend of the show.
Yeah.
Tara is his favorite wrestler.
Oh. I thought you were going to say that he's married to Tara.
Oh no, I don't think she's married anymore.
Okay.
She used to have a pizza shop called Squared Circle Pizza in Chicago.
She looks a lot in the face to me like Lita, doesn't she?
And
No.
to me, the brawling aspect of Daffney, as we
Maybe
see
I haven't
Tara
seen.
just
Well, I
step
just
right
haven't seen
over that
enough.
moonsault.
So obviously she's not wrestling anymore.
She started as one of the hoes.
One of the hoes.
To me,
And now,
Okay.
and now she's quite the wrestler.
From The Godfather?
Yeah, I mean, she was a wrestler when she was a hoe. You know, you can hoe and wrestle.
Right.
You're allowed to do both at the same time.
Let me get this right. You asked me a question, then you answered it.
Speaking of hoes,
Yeah.
Cut to the chase.
have you ever watched Justified? Did you ever watch that when it was on?
No, I didn't.
Zombie hot herself.
A lot of hoes in there.
You should watch Dropout on Hulu.
Okay.
Story of Elizabeth Holmes and Theranos.
Right. I want to watch it. Lois said, nah, I don't want to watch it. So on Hulu now we're watching Justified. I think that's worth the watch too. 6 seasons of it.
I have
It's
a
about-
friend who absolutely loves it and says it's
Yeah.
one of the best shows on TV, but he's known for having trash opinions.
Well, it was very, very well received when it was out. Got a couple of Emmys.
Yeah, well, you know, look, Daffney,
It's good. Good
well
stuff.
documented. She's very
I didn't think I would like it, but I did. I do.
Stepping up.
Oh, and you know who that referee is?
Who?
You know what?
That's
Daffney,
Andrew fucking
offensive,
Thomas.
effective, Mike.
Yeah.
He's our producer in the truck.
Yeah, maybe doubly effective.
He's the
because
one that
it
talks to
alters
Andrew.
the style of Tara
Look at
and
all
the
these
style
folks,
that is
you know.
causing
Oh,
the pain and
God.
punishment that we're
I got to take a
witnessing right
screenshot of
here.
that and send it to him right now.
The referee Andrew Thomas. He was kind of afraid.
By the way, as we're doing this, it's Sting's birthday.
Really?
Sting?
Anything you can tell
Yeah.
us about?
What'd you get Sting for his birthday?
I didn't get him anything, but I'm going to give him something when I see him on Wednesday.
Yeah, tough position here because the
I'm
referee's
just a
got
shit
to
for
deploy
him,
the
kind of,
count.
aren't you?
Well, the move
Well,
can only stay on for about
many
5
people would
seconds,
think
but you
so.
can do a lot of
Yeah.
damage to someone. You got him hung upside down like that, stretched out.
But I don't agree.
Daffney uses the hair of Tara to bring her back in, and then
Stupid ass Matt Coon turned 50 over the weekend.
repeatedly.
Wow.
I don't think a lot of people saw him making it to 50.
Yeah, I didn't.
Yeah. He had that neck surgery, and we were like, do we do a GoFundMe now or just wait a few weeks?
Challenger on top for another pin attempt.
And he kicked out.
Well, the pasty beauty herself, Daffney, in control.
Tara?
of the
Yeah.
champion right
Andrew
now.
Thomas?
No, Andrew Thomas.
Look at this.
And Matt Coon. Matt Coon.
Who's bigger goof, Andrew Thomas or Matt Coon?
Matt Coon's the biggest goof ever.
Yeah, literally.
Literally.
The biggest.
The biggest.
Yeah, well, see, it looks
Goof,
like
goof, goof,
what's
goof.
happening there is Daffney, for a moment, was sitting up.
Yeah, he's
Okay?
the
Was
worst.
sitting
You know who
on
didn't come to my
the
party over
forearms.
the weekend?
She's
Matt
still
Coon?
sitting on the
Dave
forearms
Silva.
of Tara.
What?
I told you
Yeah.
she was unorthodox, right?
Are you sure?
I'm
Yeah,
sure.
that's pretty much it.
But is he pissed off at you for something?
He just lied and told everybody that he was out of town, but he really wasn't out of town. He was home.
I did maybe try to elbow in the ribs.
First
I
team
think I
off.
saw a movie like this once, Mike.
Let me just check and see. Hang on one second.
All right.
Well,
Let's see,
I don't have any fucks left to
just think
give.
if she could take
So,
that elbow there and drive
I reached
into
into my
the
pocket,
ribs.
tried to see. It was just leg.
Right up and up to
Are we in the middle of an
Yeah,
Impact
exactly.
commercial in the middle of a pay-per-view?
She's just swinging for the
Oh,
fences.
God, are you
She's
watching the
right there. She's
commercial?
swinging.
I'm
I
watching.
just saw.
I'm watching Sarah wrestle.
I just saw a commercial. Impact commercial.
Round kicks looking
Our
good.
Impact
Yeah,
promo
Keeva's
in the
getting
middle.
back up to that vertical
Maybe
base
it's
and
the.
then able to use the kicks. You talked about that MMA training that she's been doing as well. So you're seeing
Yikes.
Are you taking
the
notes for y'all's
well-rounded
streaming
offense of
service?
the TNA Knockout champion.
Because you're starting a streaming
Tara
service, is what I
realizes
heard.
the threat
Oh,
that
I'm
is
sure we are
coming
eventually.
for her
You told us on this
championship
show
right here
a
live
few
tonight.
weeks ago.
No, I didn't tell you on the show.
Yeah. You said something about HBO Max.
No, I did not.
Daffney gets back up after each shot.
That's what you told
Shot
me.
off into the
This
ropes
is
and
this is quite a submission hold.
overpowers her right into the pin. Shoulders down for two.
So what you're saying is
Just before
you'd have
Andrew
Cody
Thomas counts
beat
three.
Brock for the belt.
You're right, Mike.
No, I didn't say
That
that.
was the key word.
No,
mean,
I didn't.
we
Say.
saw a lot
Why?
of strength
Your
exhibited
your
right there
attempts
by-
at getting me in
by the
trouble are
champion.
legendary.
Slap right to the side of the head or the ear by Daffney. Box someone's ears.
But they ain't gonna work.
Would you rather read Tony Reed's rap
Tara,
today?
the quick reverse of Daffney
Oh no,
answers.
no, that one's gone.
Suplex
Did you get in
right
trouble on
into the
that?
back, right into the pin, and we almost
I
had a
don't
new
think you did.
champion.
Just about a northern
I liked,
suplex right there, kind of a version of it.
I liked some of those scenes.
Nice bridge. I don't think she got all of the bridge down.
What do you mean?
Well, let's do in rap. I think we could make like a. We should just do a megasode of all the Tony Reed's rap. Just hear them one after another.
Oh Lord.
Challenger crashed in the corner.
Those were good times. I mean,
I need to go in the archive and delete every time I rapped.
fuck off. Why are you a joy thief?
I'm not a joy thief.
Yeah, you are trying to squeeze it out.
I look. It's like I know there were like a handful of people, okay, that liked Tony Reed's rap. Most people didn't like it.
Fuck most people.
Again, last split second.
I'm in it to entertain myself. Fuck them.
I know what they want. Vince McMahon now. I know what they want.
That's right.
Daffney take the champion.
With that in mind, how's our friend Bruce doing?
Man, he's good. You know, I talked to him this morning. You know, last weekend really sucked because he had the funeral for his older brother, Ken.
Right. I sent him a text. And told him yeah, he did. Good. I told him how sorry I was to hear about his brother. Hope he and his family are doing well. That's basically what I said, and he said, thank you very much. Much appreciated. And that was
That's the finish right there. Poor Daffney. She ain't getting up from that one. Oh, Eric Rottencrotch is so happy. He had a fun interaction with her at the original StarCast in 2018. She has been his favorite wrestler ever since. So Tara, if you're listening to this, our old pal Eric Rottencrotch, he's looking you up on Pokemon Go. Hoping to see you one day.
Okay, I think I'm off. Where are you? Is the match over for you?
Yep. The match is over, Tony. We tracked the finish. We're at 37-11, 12, 13. Andrew Thomas pointing to the referee here, or the champion here. She's got her hand raised. She's got her title. Now she's going to get her little spider. Oh, what's going on?
Whoa. Look at this. Daffney is taking poison. The tarantula of the TNA Knockout Champion Tara.
Wow. Looks like Daffney's got some little Sunday evening snack.
Stole the spider, Tony.
Coming up next,
oh my God! Look at this.
Title against former British Invasion teammate Brutus Magnus.
Either you didn't get the memo, or you just couldn't read it. But from now on, it's simply Magnus. I only need one name to beat all the one-trick ponies here in TNA, starting with our global champion. Rob Terry, I brought you in here.
What do you think about some young Nick Aldis?
Get me coffee, clean my boots, watch my
How about that?
That is something else.
No, now you have to go off and win a belt. You know, get some prominence for yourself, get some prestige,
so,
get some glory.
Magnus, you know right? Is that what he called himself back then?
Yeah. Are you still watching the show, or are you pretending like it's all free?
No, I for some reason I got way behind. I don't know why.
Because like Dr. Frankenstein.
Why do you think that is?
I've been forced to destroy the monster.
But I'm at the interview now, but I'm still behind just a little bit.
But unlike the venerable Doctor,
well, I'm at 38, 55, 56.
I just saw him walk off and it dipped to black.
Okay, well you're ahead of me. Now I'm there.
Now I got a humanitarian help
Help
Ukraine spot.
Oh God, you're watching commercials, Tony. What are you doing?
Well, that's what I got. That's why I'm so behind. I got commercials on mine. You don't have commercials on yours? Did I not buy the right thing?
This is a first-rate production here, boys and girls. We got our shit together, let me tell you.
All right. Tell me where you are right now. Just tell me what's on the screen.
There's Magnus walking to the ring at 39-56. I mean 39-38, 39-39, 39-40.
Gotcha, I'm right there. Yeah, I've got the commercials. Oh, look at Hebner as the referee.
It's him and Rob Terry here.
Okay.
By the way, Tara and Daffney got a quarter star. In this match, unfortunately, gets a dud rating.
Oh.
Somebody tried to sell me Rob Terry's ring used gear once. Oh, hey, I've got Rob Terry's gear. And I'm not saying this to be dismissive, but I had just gotten back into wrestling. I was like, what's a Rob Terry? Because I hadn't seen any of this, you know? And so then they were like, I'll sell it to you for 12 grand or something. I'm like,
TNA's UK tour, won it in his homeland of Wales, and says he's
going to
defend this title all over the world. I know TNA management, they see this global championship as a stepping stone title.
Is Rob Terry still with us?
He's not here on this program. He's still alive.
That's what I meant.
Just in my opinion, you know, I look at it as a huge
And by the way, he's not an old fella. He's only 41.
Well, he's really muscled up here, man.
Oh, he looks phenomenal.
Yes. Yes.
Like when they told me they had his gear, I Googled it and I was like, what? I mean, he's a big jacked up kid. I'll give him that.
Good God. Look at those traps.
Man, it's wild to see Aldis 10 years ago. More than that now, 12 years ago.
Freaky Lodge, and Magnus is not a small
Holy
guy.
bitch slap him.
Hey, nothing like a bitch slap.
Isn't that crazy that move is even called that? Like, what did you name the move? Like when you hit that dog with a bat, did you name the move?
No, I didn't. And I hit that dog with a bat. You know why?
Because you didn't like that dog. That dog.
No, because he was attacking my dog and hurting my dog, and I wanted to get him off, and so I whacked him with a bat to get him off.
So you whacked it off.
And that's the end of that fucking story.
Just so I'm clear though, you whacked the dog off.
Just so I'm clear, that's the end of that fucking story.
You whacked the dog off.
Just so I'm clear, the story is over, and I was 10 years old.
How many were you?
Just so we're clear.
How many were you?
10 years old. 10 years old. He may be in jail, but that joke's gonna last forever.
He's not in jail.
Bill Cosby's not in jail?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
He's chilling, man.
I thought they put him away.
They did. He got out.
You know what? I should read the internet now and then, don't you think?
Isn't that crazy? What?
Yeah, I know.
How is that possible?
I don't know. That's look at this. That's unbelievable.
Oh, look at Yambag Jones.
An ultimate X match. I mean, if I had to put it in one word, I would say probably insanity. The ultimate X match is a dangerous match for a couple of reasons. But probably the single biggest reason is because the athletes in that match know that they're in the X division for a reason, and that there's a certain expectation out of them, not only from us, who are running the company, but from the fans. And the fans want to see some of the most amazing athleticism and risk-taking that they can possibly see. They know they're going to get it in those matches. And that pressure to perform, to reach new levels, to raise the bar in terms of the risk-taking moves and some of the things that you'll see in this match, can make that match very, very dangerous. When you get halfway out to getting the belt or whatever is going to exit there, you're almost in no man's land, and you're sort of like a sitting duck because guys can come off the turnbuckles and knock you off. And a lot of danger goes into that match. I don't even think Hollywood stuntmen would even want to consider doing it. It is the most exciting match of the year. For watching it, I always say a prayer before the match to make sure these guys don't get hurt. What they do in there is unbelievable. And you know, I commend them for that. I think they deserve a lot of credit. And they make TNA very special. Those guys have separated us from any other wrestling company in the world.
So there you go, a little hype package here. I want to briefly read you what Meltzer said about the Rob Terry match.
Okay.
Rob Terry retained the global title, pinning Magnus in 123 after his move, which is sort of a sidewalk slam and choke slam, in 1 minute and 23. For the match, Magnus noted he no longer has a first name. After this match, he may have erased more than just his first name. Harry now does a spin kick before it's finished, which looks impressive because he's such a bodybuilder looking guy.
You're not ready for this level.
That he looks like he would totally suck. And anything he does that looks like it requires coordination is actually quite impressive. Dud.
Your kids trying to compete.
Else are not a fan here. The Motor City Machine Guns are the name of this tag team. The guy on the left is Chris Sabin. The guy on the right is Alex Shelley. You haven't seen much of their stuff, have you?
I've not, but I met them in, I do believe, when we went to Impact during that Tony Khan run there.
Yeah.
I did meet him there. Who's the girl? Who's the girl?
Christy Hemme.
Lately, we have a bit of an
She through WWE.
Isn't she a real good friend of Rebels?
Wouldn't you?
I don't know. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I believe so.
In the world today, but you can't reach your full potential.
I believe Christy Hemme and Rebel are really, really good friends.
Out of your control.
I'll have to check with Rebel.
Generation me, I get it.
You
beat us, and you
know, I know you weren't watching. It sounds super creepy for me to offer it, but
tonight that ain't going to be one of those.
Christy Hemme once graced the pages of Playboy.
Longer than you've even owned your Hardy Boy starter.
You're into that sort of thing.
Do you know how many Ultimate X matches we've been in?
By the way, have you been watching that Secrets of Playboy?
You know what? I have not. You told me.
Just bragging rights, not just our
where's it on?
But a shot.
It's on A&E.
Titles. Something that's eluded
anyway,
us for years.
Boy,
that is our
there was one episode that you said I had to watch. Blow my mind.
Come hell
a circus episode.
Yes. There's a lot going on in that episode.
Okay. Hey, the humanitarian crisis in Ukraine continues. We are looking for your money. Elderly and children.
I'm not doing that, actually. I'm not saying that commercial. Why are we doing their commercials instead of our own?
I don't know.
Next time it goes to commercial, let's just do a commercial of our own.
Okay, let's do it.
See, it doesn't go to commercial on us.
So now give me your time code.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Please.
46, 55, 46, 56, 46, 57, 46, 59, 47, 4701, 4702.
It always is, right? To me, it's that
yeah, so we see Yambags and Tanae talking right
with the risk taking.
I got you.
have to be fearless, obviously, right?
So basically what's going to happen is I'm going to be 15 seconds behind every time. Why does... Maybe I didn't buy the...
You know, eventually, Scott D'Amore is going to get us a promo code, and we're going to be using Impact Plus all the time. I don't mean like a promo code for us to get it free. I mean for us to share with our audience. Hey, we're watching some pretty great stuff. You got to go out of your way to see this. I mean, what we're about to watch right now, look at this contraption we're looking at. And you're about to see arguably the best tag team in the world in this era, the Motor City Machine Guns, Chris Sabin and Alex Shelley, versus arguably the greatest tag team of all time, the Young Bucks.
The Young Bucks.
Years before AEW, bro. Years.
How much of a run did the Bucks have in Impact? How long were they there, or did they just basically come and go?
I mean, I wouldn't say come and go, but I mean, they didn't make any significant money. That's what you're asking.
Yeah. Championship #1 contenders, introducing team #1 from Los Angeles.
Truly, two of my favorite guys ever.
They were here from 09 to 11, back briefly in 13, and of course, you know, did some stuff last year with you guys.
Yeah.
But at this point, you know, here, as they famously tell the story, they're not sure if their debit card will work to get a biscuit in the airport. But now, multi-millionaires.
Deservedly so.
And they were so before they had that sweet con money.
Yeah, they did quite well for themselves. Obviously, independent wrestling, but also in Japan. Great story if you've read their book. Now this division, the ropes above
It's insane if they survive.
How do they come into play? They can just use them. They have to use them. What's the rule here?
They jungle gym them over to get that X. And when you get that X hanging, you win.
Got it.
It's the ultimate X match. And I think this is the first one for Generation Me, is the way they're positioning it. But
and in the process, we would earn a shot at the TNA World Tag Team titles, because that's what goes to the winners tonight.
Wow, they immediately go for it. So you're going to see some spectacular bumps here.
I think Alex Shelley is arguably the most underrated wrestler of his generation. He never really had a big-time singles run. Timing's everything, because if that guy came around today, he'd be a big star with him.
Do you think he's just too old now?
I think he's got a real gig.
Oh.
So I think, I mean, I could be wrong on that. I don't know Alex Shelley at all. I've never met him. I've never spoken to him. But my read is he's got a real gig now.
Okay.
So wrestling is in the secondary position.
Got it. Well, good for him.
Yeah, absolutely. Just like, you know, podcasting is your full-time gig, and then you go play grab ass with every day.
See Alex Shelley, I should say, shutting down Max Buck, and then Saban blasted Max in the face.
I'm curious as this match continues.
By the way, play grab ass is an old school Southern phrase. Is it not?
It never gets old.
That lack of experience in trying to make their way across those steel cables. And as I look, I don't think any of the four competitors are wearing gloves here, Taz.
Well, that's usually what you see, because, you know,
it's like
they have to use their hands to shimmy across the top.
It's like, what's the difference between a fairy tale in the north and a fairy tale in the south?
I don't know.
In the north, it starts with once upon a time. In the south, it starts with, you ain't gonna believe this, but
it's probably pretty decent strategy to allow your partner to go out. Look at this. Wow. Takes him down to the mat with a
how about that? Alex Shelley got them both tied up.
Wow.
It was a great opportunity that was missed by Chris Sabin to get up there.
Yeah, that momentary delay for Sabin.
He did the other guy did a little pose so that Matt could get up there with him. It's a little timing thing there. It's cool.
Shelley will try and come back into play, and then Shelley with the kick from outside, and then drops Max down on the apron.
You can see who the veterans are in this matchup. Motor City Machine Guns and their experience. Early
Man, look at Sabin.
Oh my
God. Did a cross body while Matt was hooked on to.
Look at the shitty ring shirt.
Yeah, the way that he came off at that angle, so unique.
I couldn't really tell how.
What type of asshole, A, wear sunglasses inside, and B, white ones at that?
Well,
if you wear white sunglasses, you're an asshole.
Yeah. He's been, it's the guy over on the right, and he's been standing up and cheering the entire time. He's been like super fan.
In order to win the match and become number one.
He looks like Adam 22 from No Jumper. He was a douche.
He was a douche.
Yes. Are you in the loop on Crip Mac from No Jumper?
No, not at all. I don't even know what. I have no idea what No Jumper is.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, Crip Mac, as you might guess, is a Crip. He's a gangbanger.
Okay, that's what a Crip is, a gangbanger. Okay.
It's Crips and Bloods, you said.
Okay, go ahead.
Anyway, he is hilarious.
Okay.
I want you to start talking.
Yeah, it echoed throughout the impact zone.
Ain't gonna happen.
Why not?
And all of a sudden,
ain't gonna do it.
This match, but let's see if
ain't
that's going to
gonna do
enable them to at least make an effort to take down the X.
I think you are.
I think you are.
Chris Sabin's roots run deep when it comes to the Ultimate X. He was in the first ever Ultimate X match back in 2003. A year later,
I'm going to find this clip.
He won the X Division title.
I'll occasionally just watch it
yeah.
just over and over because it just fucking tickles me.
I mean, you know, you got to really, let's be honest here, the deck is stacked.
Obviously, you're talking about something on YouTube that has him in it. Yeah,
no question. In terms of experience,
meanwhile, these kids,
here,
we got something real nifty, yeah? Real nifty fight, y'all, on Hood. Or should I say, real sporty, like a sporty issue on Hood. the Crip Mac No Jumper interview on Hood. Featuring the Five-Miss Lupe 46 and the Spody Cribs coming this week. Y'all tap in with it, It's something real nifty. It's something real spotty on Hood. We got a great interview, Also, Adam and Duno asking all the nifty, spotty questions. Y'all shout out Lupe, Neighborhood Crow on Hood. Y'all tap in. No jumper, No jumper, No jumper, No jumper, Hey, No jumper. Coming up this motherfucking
on Hood.
Immediate spear to follow.
Tell me you didn't love that.
Oh,
he said, I'm not talking like him. Yes, you are. I think you will.
On Hood.
Communication between Max and Jerry.
No jumper.
Real nifty. This is a real nifty match. Cut.
They're trying to get on that same page in this type of matchup, meaning generation.
Somebody's going to get perched on the top rope on Dynamite. I would say, no jumper. No jumper. No jumper. On Hood.
He's looking real spotty out there, JR. Real spotty. Excalibur, that tope suicida was looking real nifty. Real nifty. On Hood. I watch it once a week. It just gets all over me.
Just amazing. That was sick.
You said no jumper like 10 times in a row. It seemed like.
I'm gonna need you to do a promo like that for us to finish the show when we're desperately out of time.
Okay. Oh, God.
Take a look at this. Who would have thought doing this shit on the monkey bars as a kid
would give you a championship or give you an X?
This is sound game plan.
Definitely. Max, don't look at your partner, man. Look below.
I mean, well, look at what we're seeing here.
Nick Jackson.
Oh. Jeremy's close there, though, Mike.
Saban gonna go right
He speared him.
of Max and take down Jeremy with the spear.
He was dangling cuh. And then he did something real nifty on Hood.
Jeremy Buck.
I like when he randomly got high pitched.
We got something real nifty, Real nifty five, y'all, on Hood. Or should I say, real spotty, like a spotty issue on Hood. The Crip Mac No Jumper interview on Hood. Featuring the Five-Miss Lupe 46 and the Spotty Cribs coming this week. Y'all tap in with it, It's something real nifty. It's something real spotty on Hood. We got a great interview, Also, Adam and Duno asking all the nifty, spotty questions. Y'all shout out Lupe, Neighborhood Crow on Hood. Y'all tap in. No jumper, No jumper, No jumper, No jumper, Hey, No jumper. Coming up this motherfucking.
How about that?
That combination of athleticism, the risk taking that's involved.
You need to stop because the gangbangers come looking for us.
Why? Putting them over. We like the Spartan Crib.
Max Buck.
We love the Spartan Crib.
Max got some upper body strength. He's moving quick, man. That takes a lot of shoulder strength. A lot of innovation here by the guns. He tickled him, I think.
I'll get so confused behind you.
Oh, my God. There's no tickle to that. Oh, that definitely didn't tickle neither. Oh, my God.
Wheelbarrow. Saban face down.
What a counter.
We're looking at a match that's real nifty, cut. They looking real spotty out here, cut. Oh, no jumper. No jumper, cut. No jumper, cut. Tap in. Tap in. Look at this shit.
Man.
Monkey Bar Jones.
Yeah, with this standing room only crowd at Destination X tonight as we fill the Impact Zone in Orlando, Florida.
That's what it is. It's a match with monkey bars. Trying to get that X. Trying to get something real nifty, real spouty.
I ain't gonna be worth a damn the rest of the show, and we've got over an hour to go.
Who will be the number one contenders for the TNA Tag Team titles?
Oh,
Momentary
God.
advantage to Generation
I ain't gonna be
Me.
worth a damn
We
the
talked
rest of the
about
show.
how Max
Wow,
is
I
gonna
never
make
seen
his
that
way
before.
across those cables.
What's that?
I don't remember seeing the power bomb into the knees.
That's the key. The longer this match goes, he's going to feel that even more. We've
Oh,
got three
God.
guys now up on the cables, everybody but Saban, and now he joins in, and it's a race.
So,
It's going to be a photo finish here to the middle.
can I put you down as being a fan?
Yeah.
Generation Me,
Oh,
Motor
yeah.
City Machine Guns fighting it out. Now it boils
Your
down to
facial
Saban
expression
alone,
looks
but
like you
he
just got
forced
laid.
to drop down. Oh, man. Oh, a series of kicks by Generation Me.
All right, where are you in time here? Let's get time.
I'm at 1 hour, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46.
Running powerbomb in the corner directly into his partner's knees.
Okay, we're
Spine
at the right
first. Front
Oh,
slam.
why I'm so behind? I guess these commercial breaks. I don't know.
Are you gonna start saying tap in?
Jeremy butt flying all over the arena.
Tap in?
I feel like I'm playing Xbox.
No.
Generation Me.
But I think
feeling it here.
if
Crowd
I saw this
responds.
right,
Jeremy up top. Roll through
I'll
by
bring it
Max.
up when I see her again.
Landed on his feet to Jeremy Buck.
Got caught with the kick in the corner by Saban.
Guns are in control. Go! Look at that belly to belly. Suplex into his own brother right there.
So what do you think of Double J getting in the baseball game?
Hanging from the
I think it's great. I hope he. I hope he makes a lot of money. It's very difficult to make money in the
Guns are
minors,
feeling it at this
but I'm
point.
sure he will.
They got that momentum on their side
'Cause he
at
knows
the
how to
same
promote.
time, where if they can take Max
Look at
Buck
this,
out
dude.
of play here, Jeremy's already down.
Monkey Bar Jones.
That could be
Wow.
the opening they need to take down the X.
What a bump!
Oh, seen this combination move in the past from the Guns.
So Meltzer actually loved that match. It won the Observer Best Match poll.
Right.
He gave it 3 3/4 stars.
Okay.
complete freaking insanity.
Isn't it amazing
Oh, that baby was made
that
in Detroit,
sometimes
Motor City, and now the Guns are going to try
it's
and get
just
a
the
shot
spectacular
at the tag
bumps
team
that they
titles.
like.
Take down the X. Take it down, hit the
without
canvas and win.
without any storytelling. But those kids are good enough to still tell a story during the match. But it just goes back to how wrestling has changed throughout the years.
Oh my God, he fell flat on his back.
Now they're showing some highlights here. Yeah, look here. I looked up. By the way, I looked up Rebels Wikipedia.
Yeah.
Says that she was signed to Total Nonstop Action Wrestling in 2013 after a longtime friend and former Perfect Angels member Christy Hemming recommended her.
I'll be darned.
So there you go.
Insanity. Tremendous matchup.
As a matter of fact,
Congratulations to both teams.
I think I talked to Christy
here. But big time congrats go to the veterans in
And?
this type matchup. The Motor City Machine
Rebel
Guns
had me
are now
do
number
something.
one contenders for TNA titles.
That's the key. Saban and Shelley are going to get that tag title shot. Well, this is what
Christy was trying to raise money for something, I think. And I sent her some pictures, autographed pictures. I may be wrong. I don't know. See, I can't even remember like 3 years ago or 2 years ago.
Yeah, they never let that lack of experience hit
Oh, well, I'm taking supplements to try to remedy that.
Your penis, you mean?
Wow.
Oh, listen to this.
I picked Scott Hall and Sean Waltman to be my friend. I've done everything I could in my career to keep you guys employed. I've carried your asses on my back for the last time.
Look at Eric Young and Syxx-Pac battling on the floor. And Nash is inviting Scott Hall to come into the ring. Oh, come on. After all this emotion, after all this tension, turn them loose.
We're going to do what thousands of people have wanted to do for years. We're going to take Syxx-Pac, we're going to take Hall, and we're going to bust them up real bad.
I ever thought in my life I'd be doing the battle against those two guys, I'd say no way. But you know what? Tonight I am. I have in my hands a contract that says Paul and Waltman will be allowed in the impact zone for a match against myself and Eric Young. I heard you, big sexy, or excuse me, big sellout. When we beat you, we want some fat money contract. You and you accept the match. If you can beat Nash and Young, I'll make sure you get your fat contract. If you don't get it done, go right off into the sunset, do whatever it is the hell you do, but do it somewhere else other than TNA. That's the deal.
Handshake. Syxx-Pac, the slap to the face of Eric Young, and Eric just explodes with rage.
Destination X, Kevin Nash and Eric Young. What's coming to you, you're going to be looking at the two new big money players for TNA.
Scott Hall and Syxx-Pac fight for TNA contracts versus Eric Young and big sexy Kevin Nash.
In just a matter of moments, we will see the culmination of a rivalry that's been brewing for over a month here in TNA, and some say actually been brewing for 17 years now. Scott Hall, Syxx-Pac, the two of you set to do battle tonight against your longtime friend, now enemy, Kevin Nash, and his tag team partner tonight, Eric Young. Everything is on the line tonight, gentlemen. If you're victorious, the two of you will receive a TNA contract. However, if you do not get the win, the two of you will be banned for life.
No, we did.
You just said banned for life.
That's a good one.
Give it up, man. That's good for you, man. You know, the band. You guys call us the band. Am I explaining this to you right? The band. We're going to be banned for life. Right. It took me a little bit to spit that out, but you get what I'm trying to say. It's funny for you.
Kid, please
That's
don't start getting
deep,
off
man.
cosmic, please. Please
I
don't
get
get
it on
off
so many different
No,
levels.
I broke out the gear old school style. I'm going to wrestle tonight. Big sellout. Big Kev. Here you're real disappointed that you're looking across the ring at the Wolf Pack. Hey, big buddy, guess who cares? Nobody. You know what? You say you're better than me, prove it. You're going to have a chance. I know I got a great partner. You really trust your life and your career with Eric Young? We're going to be Monday. When you tune in tomorrow live on Spike, you're going to see the two highest paid cats on TNA contracts, because we're going to go out tonight and do what we do, and that's shine like gold. You want to stop us, Young? Big sellout? We'll be the ones who look like movie stars.
Exactly. Nash, Young, Crosby, Stills. It doesn't matter who we got to go through to get those contracts. We're going to get them, and then it's going to be a party tonight.
Yeah, TNA's fixing to get
It's going to be a
cool.
party.
TNA's
Your
fixing to
ass
get
is on
cool.
grass, and we're going to smoke it.
So there you go.
Yeah, it's kind of just a pure coincidence that we would do a show that would have Scott Hall on it the week after he passed away. But this would be a very good time to talk about him, because I think you and I both agree he's one of the great performers of all time.
Oh, without question. And seeing all the really cool stories and all the clips and all the influence, and what a legacy he leaves behind. And I understand at times it was complicated, but this part is not. I wouldn't say that me and Scott were like big buds, but
Right.
we did business together several times.
Right.
Such a great guy.
Yeah, he
Much
was.
knowledge, loves wrestling fans, loves wrestling. Sure, he had his demons, but man, that guy loved this and loved the fans who supported this. And it's a shame that it's all come to an end now.
Yeah, I saw him right after Full Gear in Minneapolis. I was on a private plane with Danielson and Omega and Don Callis, and we flew into Teterboro. They had an event near LaGuardia, and I had an event in Albany, so I got a rental car, drove to Albany, New York that night, slept like 2 hours, and went to a autograph signing in Albany. And Scott was there. I didn't realize he was going to be there, but I walked in and heard someone say, Count Schiavone. And so I looked over and there was Scott. Went over and talked to him. He said, "Congratulations on your career coming back." I said, "Thanks, man. Are you doing okay?" So, "Yeah, I'm doing fine." And I went over and sat down at my table and did the autographs and had a pretty good stream of, and I wanted to go over and talk to him. And I said, "Well, I'll talk to him after the event is over." And after the event was over, he was gone. I didn't get to see him. So that was the last time I saw him, didn't get to talk to him. But I wanted to talk to him just to see how he was getting along because, listen, my career is directly tied to him. And
yeah,
it is. He and Kevin Nash and that whole NWO thing. I was able to make great money in the 90s thanks to those guys.
Yeah.
Not me, thanks to those guys. So those guys mean a lot to me. So hearing that he had passed away, and obviously it was a kind of a freakish thing because he had just had replacement surgery and it was a blood clot. It was terrible news. It really was.
A really sad story in the Observer. Did you have a chance to read Dave's write-up?
No, I did not.
Unfortunately, when he broke his hip, he was there for days before anybody found him.
Oh God.
And it was DDP who found him.
Oh.
Tough deal, man.
Oh, that's terrible. That makes me feel even worse.
What a guy. What a legacy. What a career.
And
we're seeing really one of his last sort of primetime appearances. He would only be with TNA until June. And this would come to an end.
Yeah, he had, I've said it many times. I'll say it again. He had the best working punch I've ever seen.
Yeah. The Rock really studied a lot of his stuff when he was first getting in, and you can see The Rock's influence in his punches.
Yeah. And I probably knew Scott as long as any wrestler that I've ever known because he worked at the ballpark.
Right.
He and Danny Spivey were members of the grounds crew they worked under Klondike Bill and with George Harris. And I don't know the exact timing, but I'm thinking that maybe they started working before I started with the wrestling end of the company. So I may have known them longer than any wrestler. I did send him a text now and then, and he answered them. He would always just answer them very simply, "Thanks very much, Tony." And I would text him and say, and I didn't do it enough. I probably did it maybe, I don't know, 3 times over after I started in the business again. I asked him how he was doing. I hope he's doing well. You had a great career. I was glad to be a part of it. And it was always thanks, Tony. And yeah, sad story. Really is. Now, smart me up about Eric Young because I'm not familiar with him, unless I am and I don't realize I am.
Eric Young is a criminally underrated performer. He's had TV shows on cable, and he's just really an outstanding character. He can do down and dirty wrestling. He can do your brawling stuff. He can do your in-ring stuff, but he's really a character, and that's what has made him successful in the wrestling game is his facials, his timing. He can do comedy, he can do serious, but as a more lighthearted character, he's done phenomenally well. A TNA original, if you will.
Wow. I can't get over Andrew Thomas being the referee here.
Yeah, I kind of forgot this match was in here. I'm glad we're watching it.
Yeah, me too.
But it's a little depressing.
Yeah, it really is. When you think about Scott's career and the troubles he had in life.
I want to encourage you to go out of your way to read the Observer thing.
Okay.
Like Dave made some really, really great points. I mean, there's some stuff in there that I didn't know.
Okay. I will, because I do get it every week or whenever it's out. And I don't read it. I sent it to my daughter. I forwarded it to her. I said, you can read it. Because she's really into the business now.
Isn't that fun?
Yeah, it is. It is. That I really got her into wrestling.
And now she's, texting your coworkers, make Dad brush his hair.
Yeah. Make him cut his hair. Even send a thing to Janet in makeup. Have Dad put makeup on.
Have Dad put makeup on.
Have Dad put makeup on. Janet said, if you want to, I'll powder your nose. And I went, nah, you don't need to. Okay, so where are you? Because I just broke for another Ukraine.
Why didn't we do a commercial? We should have did a commercial. We're at 1 hour 15:53. 55.
Yeah,
50.
I'm right on. I did a forward. A fast forward. Okay, I'll see him. I'll tell you when the next one's coming up.
And we'll just do a commercial.
They did one right in the. I thought they did them afterwards, but they did one right in the middle of the match there.
They did that just for you.
That's right. Oh, Lord. There you go, Scott. Big Sexy hasn't even come in yet.
Well, he's working on the hot tag.
This has been all Eric Young or whomever. Yeah, here we go.
So let me read you some stuff here.
Okay.
He was the smartest of us all, wrote Waltman. Maybe all of us combined. And that was a car full of smart motherfuckers. He was just a brilliant guy in all kinds of ways. He was just a high IQ motherfucker. Waltman said he was the master of the squash match and of knowing the moment. He would grab a hold, knowing that you do that to give the announcers a chance to put you over rather than just calling the action. If something went wrong in a television match, he'd stay cool, look at the camera and say, take two, and just do it right over again. Of course, that was in the days when television was all taped and you could do that. He taught us how to figure out how to reach the people, know what they want, and predict what they want. He made everyone better. Sean was better after working with him. Jarrett was better. Kev, me, a lot of guys. That's pretty cool, man.
That's a good legacy in this business. Not many people are going to have that legacy in this business. Oh, I saw that. I saw that coming.
Of course. Why would he not take care of his buddies?
Yeah.
Piss on Eric Young.
Yeah. I saw that coming. You know, sometimes in wrestling, you see it coming, but it still works.
Yeah. About the tag.
And that got some fans up. It got some fans standing. Look at that. Our goof with the white glasses.
Yeah.
He has turned his back on the action now.
Because he doesn't like this. He doesn't like
it. Right. He doesn't like it.
He's expressing his displeasure.
See, look at him. Turned his back. Okay.
He's a fucking goof.
Yeah, you're smarter than all of us.
You know what he's probably saying?
What?
No jumper cut. No jumper cut. Shorty crap. That ought to do it.
And the double pin on Eric Young.
Meltzer had this to say. The steps were if Hall and Waltman lost, they had to leave TNA. Of course, they were never supposed to be there in the first place. If they won, they'd get a contract. Hall has dropped a lot of weight, but still has no business wearing those trunks from the 90s because they made him look way out of shape with the big belly.
Right.
He was making fun of his gut. Waltman did a flip dive early, blah, 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 blah. Post-match was hilarious. Waltman looked under the ring for something and couldn't find it. He went somewhere else and couldn't find it. Maybe he needs to carry a GPS device to the ring to remember what corner he's hiding his gimmick. He finally found his can of spray paint. Crowd was chanting same old stuff as Waltman, instead of spray painting Young, spray painted around his body like it was a death crime scene. What do you think of that? Doing the outline.
Pretty inventive. You think the fans, by chanting same old stuff, caused him to improvise that?
No, I think that was his plan. Waltman's pretty smart feller.
Yeah, he is.
But this is pretty innovative. I mean, I don't hate it.
No, I don't either.
And how about Eric Young knowing he's got to lay in an interesting way for this?
Correct.
That's I would say that's real nifty, cuh.
Yeah.
They're dancing. Here we go.
And ED for life, but they are the band for life.
Well, that's just a legendary faction right there. And it's back together in full effect, and a sacrificial lamb was Eric Young.
Scott Hall, Syxx-Pac gain TNA contracts as they get the victory at Destination X as we send it to JB with Kurt Angle.
Is that one of the best theme songs of all time?
Yes, it is.
Oh my gosh. The young Borash here with Kurt Angle.
All of a sudden, I had a real problem with people holding mics in their hands. So if you wouldn't mind, I'd like to do this one solo.
Okay.
So Kurt Angle just lit a promo photo on fire.
Okay. And get ready to do a commercial. Ready?
All right.
Get it. Go.
Tune in next week. Tony and I will be talking about Monday Nitro from March of '99 with Bret Hart and Goldberg. Should be real sporty, cut. Should be real nifty, cut. Tap in, cut. No jumper, cut. How did I do?
It's great. Give me a time code.
122.44. 122.47.
Got it. So we got an X Factors match, right?
That's real.
No jumper.
So Doug Williams and Shannon Moore are here for the X title.
Ah, very good. Saw Shannon, by the way, at that Albany signing too. Talked to him for a little bit. That's one of the things I love about those signings, seeing guys you haven't seen in a long time.
Yeah.
You know, really, really enjoy it. My God.
How about that look right there?
That I know Shannon. Actually, Shannon and I were talking about tattoos. And good God. Good God.
Is that your DDP?
Yeah, that's my DDP.
Good God.
Good. Prince of Punk. Book of Billigan. All right. So is this an X Factor match?
Yeah. No, it's an X match just for the X title.
X title. All right. This is Doug Williams. Obviously not the former Redskins quarterback.
No,
this is Doug Williams.
They had different pigmentation.
Yes, they did. And different eras.
No, I think this Doug Williams is probably the same age as that Doug. Just kidding. This guy right here, though, legitimately, another example that timing's everything. If he was coming around now, he'd be a much bigger star. The real Doug Williams is 66. Our Doug Williams here is 49.
So is this the no? It's I was checking to see if that was our WCW referee Slick Johnson.
Slick Johnson.
Is that him?
I think so.
I wasn't sure. Okay. But the outline is going to remain in there the rest of the night. They had no other mat covers.
Mark Eric Johnson.
Yeah, that's him.
Slick is what you knew him as.
Right.
What a great name too, Slick Johnson.
Yeah.
Speaking of Slick Johnsons, when was the last time you shaved your pubes? Like with a razor, not like a man trimmer.
So tell me,
you pull them tight. Is that what you do? You pull them tight.
Look, don't you think that
I pull mine tight.
I think we mentioned this. Shannon Moore's got a great look.
Oh, phenomenal. And he can work his ass off.
Yeah.
I saw him wrestle a few years ago here in Huntsville. He had the match of the night. Stole the show.
God, what a unique. It's almost like what were the kids that wrestled in WCW? Chris Champion. The New Breed. It's almost like he's a member of the New Breed in a new millennium. Remember them?
Yeah. So what do you think about Stone Cold Steve Austin coming back at WrestleMania?
Good for him. I hope he's okay. I mean, I know that it's been a while, and I know he had a career-ending injury that we have seen here on this podcast. You know, I just love Kevin Owens. And that's who he's going to have a match with, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it'll be great. I think Owens is probably pretty pumped about being able to get in the ring with him.
By the way, I know you're concerned, but Stone Cold is 6 years younger than Sting. So 6 years from now, who knows? We could see Stone Cold jumping off balconies through tables in AEW.
Man, that was crazy, wasn't it?
It's so crazy.
It's just crazy that he would do that. And yeah, just crazy. Well, it's a pay-per-view. Give him something different. Give him Swerve with his name on the contract and let me expose it before I bring him in. Oh, God. But our next one is going to be coming up Double or Nothing in Vegas. And we got a major gate already for that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to be in Vegas that entire week almost. Are you in your whack pack coming?
I think I'm in a wedding that week.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know why they would schedule it then, but they did.
It's a Memorial Day wedding, Memorial Day weekend wedding. And then we got LA and Ontario the following week. So it looks like I'm just going to be out west for a long time.
I'm going this Wednesday. As people are listening to this, I'm on my way to LA right now.
Oh.
Podcast Movement Jones.
Oh, very cool. And that was the thing that we spoke at in Nashville, right?
Yep.
Very cool. Podcast Movement Jones.
Great guys.
Yeah, and I hope, I think it's pretty apparent. Commercial time. Hit it.
Tap in, cut. We're going to be on WHW. Cut. No, WHW. Cut. WHW. Cut. Tap in. Something real sporty. Something real nifty. Talking Tony Schiavone. Going to be talking a little Nitro from 99. Cut. Bret Hart. Cut. Goldberg. Cut. Tap in. Cut.
That's every Wednesday.
Cut.
or Monday on Patreon.
Cut. Tap in.
Give me a time code again. I'm sorry.
Something real nifty. 129, 38, 39, 129, 40, 129, 42, 129, 43.
That was a longer commercial break. Wow, right in the middle of it. I apologize for everybody who has to have commercial breaks in their replay, but I know many of you do not watch it anyway. You just listen to the bullshit that we talk about here. And obviously we've talked about a lot of bullshit, with the exception of Scott Hall, and I think it's worth your while if you stream wrestling on the Peacock or maybe here on Impact Plus, to go back and in honor of Scott Hall, watch some of his memorable matches.
Yes.
Or his promos, because I have.
I think the whole world did.
Yeah.
You know, he was the most, like, Scott Hall was the most Googled thing in the world that day.
Wow.
People searched for Scott Hall more than anything else.
Yeah.
It's hard to believe, man.
Yeah, great legacy in the business. Listen, his legacy in the business is not his personal problems.
No.
It's not. And if that's what you want to remember him for, then you are on the wrong train, dude. Get off and get a life. His legacy is what he did or what he could do in the ring, just like you were reading about what Sean Waltman wrote. Wrestlers learn from others. And what Scott Hall had was and you never did know really, wow, he's going to win the match here. Scott Hall had a great respect for the business. He did. He had personal problems that had him deviate, but he had a great respect for the business and what it took to perform in the ring. And there you go. So he took a block of wood and knocked him out. A little juice.
Oh, wow. Who do you think you are? Come in here, getting a title shot you never even deserved one in the first place. You're just another example of everything I despise about the X Division. Jumped up acrobats who call themselves wrestlers. No. Yours truly is the epitome of what the X Division should be. Technical wrestling. Hold and counterhold. Catch as catch can. That's why I bring prestige, not only to the title, but to the whole division. Hey, acrobats and high flyers belong in the circus with the clowns. And that's another thing you are, Shannon Moore. You're a clown. But I don't think very much of your makeup. Allow me to assist you.
Feelings of the X Division.
So what'd you think of that promo?
Well, that was probably a shooting promo.
I liked it
in many ways.
I think Doug is such a talent. Oh wow, he's going after a lady person.
I hope she was a plant.
Oh God, let's just roll the credits, you dumb motherfucker.
Oh, I do. You just never know sometimes. Sometimes, crazy guys go into business for themselves.
Look at this, putting the lipstick on.
Yeah.
So what do you think? Do you want us to line this up and let you hang out with Crip Mac?
Is that his name? Crip Mac?
Yeah.
That would be CRI.
CRI. You mean send you the link?
Yeah, please do.
Oh, I can't wait to show you this.
I got to watch this. It should be great. He's got to get a lot of views. Down.
I'll I love that's the way your brain works now. He's got to have a lot of views.
Okay, so get ready. As he's walking out, we're ready to go to another commercial. Go.
I don't have a commercial, but what we do have is a commercial here for Against All Odds, which is, I guess, the next pay-per-view. And they're doing a little package here. We'll check it.
Wouldn't you? Had he had the same exact opportunity. From here on in, we have 100% of our focus defending these tag team titles against anyone, anytime, hell, anywhere. We're damn sure going to go down in the wrestling history books as the physically most dominating tag team of all time.
2 years ago, me and my good friend James Storm made the decision to form Beer Money. All we ever wanted to be was the best. And by God, here we are today, the greatest tag team in all of professional wrestling.
Just like Beer Money, Hernandez and Morgan want to be the best. And at Destination X, we're going to ask for a title shot for Beer Money.
What the hell was that out there? What are you talking about? It's for you go out there and you put our titles on the line like that. We need to be on the same page. We're in sync in the ring.
I'm really surprised that Matt Morgan, usually a very intelligent competitor, sat there, Georgia.
How about Matt Morgan in real life? Some mayor now.
Oh. Of where?
Like Longwood, Florida or something like that. Let me look that up. Oh, I nailed it. Longwood, Florida.
Longwood, Florida.
Yeah. What do you think? Could you be the mayor of Marietta? Or is that Cody by default?
Actually, they are attempting where I live because I live in Cobb County. I don't live in the confines of Marietta. They're attempting to make this a city called East Cobb, Georgia. It's up for a vote at the end of May.
Do you want to be East Cobb?
Well, there's obviously right-wing Betty that I live with does not want, because that means more taxes, she says. She says it's only because real estate people want to. I don't know.
Why does she care about more taxes?
Exactly.
She's not concerned with income. Why would she be concerned with tax?
Well said, my friend. Where are we? Give me a time code.
Feel free to steal that whenever you'd like.
Okay.
137.13, 137.14. By the way, as they're trying to get you, I don't like that they do a little, let's break down what's going to happen here and why it's important. This is a waste of time.
Yeah.
But
taglines.
What's not a waste of time is Crip Mac, which you now have the capacity to see. So I want you to play it and you can track it so we can hear along. But I want to see your reaction to seeing this fella, because seeing it is another level.
Okay. All right. I don't know if I can.
You can't pull it up through your computer?
Yeah, I can. Let me try here.
First rate production here, boy.
Yes. Podcast Jones. That's us.
Here comes Beer Money. Have you seen them wrestle before?
No.
Really one of the best tag teams around. That's Robert Roode on the right from WWE.
Okay.
James Storm on the left. James Storm used to be one half of a tag team here in TNA called America's Most Wanted. You would have dug them. But these guys, really great tag team.
Well, I've met James Storm. He worked, I think, just for a short period in MLW.
Yes. Like one show, I think.
Right. Right. Is Robert Roode still in WWE?
Yeah.
Still come out with that robe on and everything?
I think he switched that up.
Okay.
You watching this Crip Mac?
It hasn't arrived yet.
It's in your emails.
Okay. I was looking for a text. Sorry.
I thought I would send it to your email so that way you could just play it through on your pooter.
Okay. All right, here we go.
We got something real nifty, yeah? Real nifty 5, y'all, on hood. Or should I say, real sporty, like a sporty issue on hood. the Crip Mac No Jumper interview on Hood, featuring the famous Lupe 46 and Spody Cribs coming this week. Y'all tap in with it, It's something real nifty. It's something real Spody on Hood. We got a great interview, Also, Adam and Duno asking all the nifty Spody questions. Y'all shout out Lupe, Neighborhood Crow on Hood. Y'all tap in. No jumper, No jumper, No jumper, No jumper, Hey, no jumper. Coming up this motherfucking week. We got something real nifty,
What do you think?
Where did you find this? God.
Well, now you've seen him in real life.
Yeah.
You had heard him, but now you've seen him. Did it live up to the expectations?
Yeah, it did. Real sporty, real nifty. Tap into it, No jumper, God, I got to work that in. I have to work it in on.
You gonna hit somebody with some
I'm gonna say no jumper,
I want you to start saying tap in too. People would get into that. Tony saying tap in.
All right, who's the beer money? Who are they facing? Who are these two guys?
That's Hernandez right there.
Yeah.
Dixie really thought he was going to be a major star.
Uh-huh.
And Matt Morgan, who is a huge human.
Yeah, I can
who
tell.
Looks phenomenal. Cornette was real high on him. But now he's the fucking mayor.
So by this time in 2010, there's no more Smoky Mountain Wrestling, right?
No.
Okay. How long does Smoky Mountain have its run? Do you know?
Yeah, let me do that. It was early 90s.
Okay, early 90s. All right.
SMW was founded in 1991 and closed in December of 1995. So they made it 4 years and 2
4-year
months.
run. I thought it was much longer than that.
Did you ever go check out any of their stuff?
I did not.
You're not really though. You wouldn't classify yourself as like a wrestling fan though, would you?
Yeah, I am.
Oh, okay.
I was always a big baseball fan too, but I never went to many games until I started working them, Just because you don't go to them, you can watch it, Boy, you're right. This guy is big.
A huge dude.
Yeah.
And by the way, he looks even better now that he's the mayor. Like he's like I don't know that he's in fitness competitions, but he could be.
Right.
We're friends on social and I see his posts and I'm like, God dang, is he looking for another run? Because he looks ready for it.
I really don't. I don't know how much money you get by being a mayor of a small town. Oh, by the way, East Cobb, if it passes, will be a very small town. But the people who live in this Eastern Cobb area a lot of people have always wanted that. And we go to a commercial, go.
I'm not doing another one.
All right.
Here's the deal though, Tap in. On Hood.
Keep it sporty.
Keep it real nifty.
Nifty.
Tune in next week.
Nifty. Oh God. Wow. Well, the good news is I only have 1, 2, 3 more commercials. It looks like.
I don't know what version you're looking at, but
I don't know. I mean, I've got a Impact Plus account. I pay for it every month. It's real sporty.
It's real nifty.
Real nifty.
We suggest if you're listening at home that you tap in, on Hood. Dude, you got to work in on Hood. That is the line.
No, it's the line is no jumper,
No Jumper is the name of the podcast. Don't put them over.
Okay.
Put over on Hood and I think you could get over.
Or I could say that move was real nifty,
He's looking mighty sporty today, Excalibur. Oh, what a nifty maneuver. Cut. You know, then when you're selling the devastation, he wiped his ass out on Hood.
Get that referee's butt out of the ring. Oh, we got a couple of we got a tag team now having some problems. Beer money. They had green trunks that looked like kind of like a Starbucks logo on the back too. That's pretty freaking cool.
You love you some Starbucks.
No, I don't drink coffee at all anymore.
You told us last week your favorite part of working there was the gossip.
The gossip, yeah, but not the coffee.
You know, I've never had a cup of coffee in my life.
Really?
Yeah, I had one sip one time. That was enough.
Yeah. Well, I do need to say this, and it's true. People say, "Oh, you're bullshitting." I'm not. I really did enjoy Cometeer coffee when I had it. I really did.
Oh, it was fantastic.
Yeah, it was. But
my wife really was intrigued by. Wait a minute, what do we do?
So was Lois.
That you melt it to make it. She was like, "This is the coolest thing."
Yeah, and I really enjoyed it. But normally I just go with the energy drinks. Because see, coffee stains your teeth. You got it. You know, I want to try to keep a pearly white smile for TV.
Yeah, I mean, sporty white teeth, real nifty.
They're nifty. The thing about it, when you watch that video, he believes in what he's saying, man. He ain't trying to be a comedian.
No.
He believes in what he's saying.
Yes.
Enziguri, back of the head.
Wait, where are you at?
Oh, God. 146.55.
Okay. I'm just barely ahead of you.
Okay.
Hey, by the way, have I mentioned the Just Incredible book to you?
No.
Buddy. Their publisher sent me a copy, I guess, hoping I'd do what I'm fixing to do right now and put it over real strong.
Yeah.
That dude has no fucks left to give. He's just spilling the tea.
Wow.
There's a lot of stuff in there I won't repeat.
Right.
But I was like, this is printed and available for people to read?
Wow.
Like, some inside baseball stuff. I'm not going to say it here, but
okay.
Whoa. But let me tell you, I learned something. And, you know, I'm weird. So the book shows up to my office.
Okay.
And I just randomly, as I'm making my lunch at my desk, flip it open like halfway. And I'm like, I'm just going to read a sample right here. Not going to start at the beginning, not going to start at the end, just right in the middle. Just pick it up. There was a section called the Everlasting Key Ring. Have you heard of this?
No.
Apparently this was a thing in wrestling. So you know how these days, when you go to the hotel, you get checked in, they give you the electronic key card and it like swipes in and it's an electronic lock.
Yes. Right.
Now, as you know, it didn't always used to be that way. That technology is, you know, not 30, 40, 50 years old. So what they used to do is just give you a regular ass key on like a plastic diamond key ring. And it would say your room number on the diamond.
Right.
Well, apparently back in the day, some of the boys would get this key, get checked into their room. And then the next day before they checked out, let's run them down to the hardware store and have a copy made. And then let's label the key Days Inn, Huntsville, room 712. And then the next time they're running a show here in Huntsville, after the show, they just ease over to the Days Inn, pull out the trusty everlasting key ring, flip through and find that Huntsville Days Inn one, tiptoe up to room 712, and ever so gently open it up and take a peek to see if it's occupied, because if it's not, free room.
Wow.
Just be gone by the time the maids are there to work the other rooms.
Wow. That's pretty inventive.
Now, he's not saying he did that, but he is shaming people who did it and dunking on them.
Oh, and is he calling out by name?
Yeah.
Wow.
He calls a lot of stuff out by name.
Wow.
Drug use, carny stuff.
Whoa.
Hiding cocaine under his nutsack.
Oh, Jesus.
Buddy.
Huh.
A lot of stuff happening.
Yeah. Yeah. That's amazing stuff right there.
You think you could try to pull that off, the everlasting key ring?
No. Hell, when we go out now, your freaking phone is your key. Have you seen that? Some of the hotels?
I haven't stayed in a hotel and I couldn't tell you when.
Yeah. Okay. Now, a lot of hotels, you can check in with your app.
Oh, yeah. I did that once.
Yeah. And then the phone, you just go to your door and boop with your phone.
Isn't that great?
Yeah, that's amazing. They're putting some time in this match here, guys.
Yeah. And by the way, it's a pretty good match. 1.5 is what Meltzer gave it. He didn't really love it. Next up, though, we got Kurt Angle and Mr. Anderson. And then our main event, AJ Styles and Abyss. This is your first full TNA show, though, isn't it? I don't think we've watched a full one from this era ever.
We've watched an Impact show, like a regular show.
Yeah.
I think we may have done it on the bonus podcast, but not a pay-per-view before. So this is actually pretty cool. I've really enjoyed, and obviously I've enjoyed seeing Christopher Daniels and Frankie, the guys I work with, the Bucks, seeing them in their younger days. And of course, we're only talking about 12 years ago. Kevin Sullivan likes it, as you can hear in the background.
No, I thought you were down to just Bug.
No, there's Chewy. It's Lois's dog.
That's right.
And he is out of his freaking mind. We put him on Prozac, you know that. Just because he's nuts.
Really?
Oh, yeah, nuts.
I didn't know
that. We had the other day, as I don't know where you are, but I just saw the finish. We had the other day a turkey come to our front door. A wild turkey.
You're being serious?
Yes. Just walked right up to the front door.
In Marietta,
East Cobb. And our neighbor sent me a text, and she said, "You got a turkey at your front door." And she had a video of him, and her dog was trying to get to it. And so then I went out the next day, and a big freaking turkey, still in the yard, just running around people's yard. Had Chewy seen that, Chewy would have tried to run through the door to get him. And had he bounced off that door, he would have taken a head start and done it again. That's how nuts he is. Anyway, so much for my turkey story, but there was a turkey.
Did you eat the turkey?
No, he's still running around. Like a true city slicker, I didn't know what to do with him, so I called animal control.
And what'd they say?
They said, well, it's mating season. They do that. They end up in a lot of developments. Just let him go. He has plenty to eat, and he won't bother you. If he becomes a nuisance, either use the hose and spray the hose at him to chase him away, or bang up some pots and pans. So we just let him roam around. I thought maybe the thing would starve, because it's not in the wild now. But apparently he can eat plenty of bugs and acorns and stuff like that. So there you go. That's my turkey thing. Where are you now? Because I just saw another. Boy, they are really pumping Ukraine here.
153, 51, 52, 53.
We're
watching a Kurt Angle package.
And he said, "I want to give you this to remind you of who you are." When the match was over, you could have walked away the winner, but you came back and you dropped this on my chest and you spit on it. Mr. Anderson, I'm going to make you suffer. I'll see you in hell. Let me get this straight. I'm supposed to feel sorry because I spit on some metal.
You know, Mr. Anderson's treatment, it has taken disrespect and dishonor to a whole new level.
This, on the other hand, is pretty amusing. Oh, it's real. It's damn real.
You had to wonder how long Kurt Angle was going to put up with this crap. And playtime has turned into payback time for Kurt Angle. The Angle slam on Kurt. Oh! Anderson taking that Warrior medal, this latest attempt by Mr. Anderson to show his scorn for Kurt Angle. This is disgraceful.
I brought a few of my closest friends out here with me tonight. These are the men and women, Mr. Anderson, who are willing to stand up, fight for, and even die for people like you and me. And as a proud American, it is my duty to protect and serve these soldiers with
Anderson tossed into the ring by Angle. Whoa, just backed into a wall. Known as the U.S. Army Olympic gold medalist. He tasted sweet revenge.
I see that little hunk of garbage around your neck as nothing more than a utensil to carve you up, man. Kurt, this is just a very small example of what you have in store for you. This
out who gets the last word. Destination X.
You rank Kurt Angle. You missed most of his career, though, didn't you?
I missed all of his career. The only thing I've seen of Kurt Angle was back in a podcast you and I did maybe a year ago, where we saw the match against Shane McMahon.
Oh, well, that was just a spectacle.
Yeah, right.
And I'm not saying he's got his best opponent here. Mr. Kennedy was a character, and I wish that you could have seen his rise in the WWF. But this is not Kurt Angle's best match. Meltzer would say, by no means a bad match, but not an Angle quality pay-per-view match. It seems like they're trying to stall early because they were going longer than they wanted. This was supposed to be a big grudge match with all the emotional angles, but they opened the match with Angle daring Anderson to put him in a headlock. He'd do it, and Angle would throw him off, blah, 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 blah. Mm-hmm. Anyway, I think you could argue, I don't know that you get a ton of pushback, that Kurt Angle's probably top 5 all time in the ring. Like, I think you could go with, hey, it's Rick and Sean,
right,
and Brett,
right,
and Angle. I don't know who the other one would be, but I think that's that might be the Mount Rushmore of wrestlers. Like, you know, ding, 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 let's go have a good match.
Yeah. Wyndham was in that conversation. At least if you go to top 10, being able to work.
Here's my thing on Wyndham. I think it was too short of a window. I think Wyndham was probably the man from 84 to 88.
Yeah.
But Sean did it longer. Brett did it long. Man, what an entrance.
Yeah.
Watching Kurt Angle come up like that, he looked like the fucking Terminator. By the way, Kurt Angle show, Rockin' and Rollin', just had your boy, Chris Jericho, on.
Wow.
And Kurt, at the end of the show, said he thought it was the best podcast he'd ever done.
Good.
Great guest. Go out of your way to check it out. Kurt Angle talking to Chris Jericho on the Kurt Angle show. And, you know, his wife's got a podcast now, too, The Wives of Wrestling.
Right.
I think this week they've got Reby on. So Matt Hardy's wife will be on talking with Kurt Angle's wife and Randy Orton's wife, and maybe something our wives could dig.
What's the story of the dog tag? Is that Wounded Warriors?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you're right. I haven't seen much of Kurt Angle, but it's you ever notice when they take that wide shot, they changed that last wide shot, it was yellow. So they changed the video on that. Anyway, not all amateur stars of Kurt's ilk have been able to make the transition, have they?
No.
Says a lot about what he can do, man.
Phenomenal.
Yeah. You know, I only met him one time, and that was at the Top Guy weekend last year. That's the first time I met him.
Really?
Yeah.
I guess that makes sense.
I saw him backstage from a distance at a WWE event when Arn Anderson invited me to come back. when they were here in Atlanta, but I didn't get to talk to him. But yeah, I've never really spent much time with Kurt. By the way, we got a Top Guy weekend in the works.
Yes, we do.
All right.
We'll talk about it on our next little conference call. But yeah, I think we'll be making an announcement maybe a couple weeks after WrestleMania.
Okay, cool. Because there's a lot of my friends on Patreon who are low-key big hogs who have been asking me about it. And I said, just keep listening. It'll be coming up soon.
Yep.
Because we get together every Friday night for a Rampage watch along on Patreon/WHW.
When I tell you what the plan is, you're gonna shit your pants.
Oh man, I love shitting my pants. Okay. Keep it sporty. Keep it nifty.
I love shitting my pants, cut. Tap into shitting your pants on Hood. On Hood.
What is he saying? Cuh, like in cuz?
Yes.
Okay, cuz. Okay.
But just cuh. C-U-H. Tap in, cut. Sporty Grill.
On Hood.
Why is it so funny? I'm glad that you like it as much as me.
Oh man. That slayed me, buddy.
Here's that spot we're talking about. No, put me in the headlock. Here you go. Put me in. By the way, if somebody ever offers that, they're going to fuck you up.
Oh, yeah.
As a rule of thumb, if someone's like, hey, do this move to me. Come on.
Yeah.
No. Don't do that.
Here's a little advice, too. Kurt Angle can still fuck you up. Okay? He's not the Kurt Angle that first started in the WWE that won the Olympic gold medal, but he can still fuck you up. Shooters like that, it's like back even when Harley Race was out of the business or was not wrestling, he could still fuck you up. They knew how to do it. Gene Anderson was one of the best. Gene Anderson was old, out of the business, had high blood pressure, but he could fucking grab you and he'd squeal. Because I know he grabbed me many times. Bet you Rick Steiner's like that too, man.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, so if Kurt Angle today would say, here, grab a headlock and smile at me like he's doing right now, I could say, nope. Not me, dude. Old shooters. Toughest guys in the business. And I think he would rank, really. He's one of the toughest in the business, right?
Oh, without question.
Yeah. I mean, look, those guys who had amateur backgrounds, and I mean, even Cody's one. Now, Cody didn't wrestle in college, although he was going to go to Penn State. But, yeah, man. Those guys who were these collegiate and Olympic wrestlers, don't fuck with them.
I agree totally. I think that's one of the things that, people forget about Cody is what a high school wrestler he was. And I realize there's difference between high school and college, but
right.
State champ.
Yeah. Lost like one match in his last 2 years or something like that.
Yep.
And the one match he lost, he ended up beating the kid in the state championship finals.
Yep. He avenged it on the biggest possible stage. But I think people they don't think of Dolph Ziggler that way either. But Dolph Ziggler, he can tie your ass up in knots.
Yeah, right. And those guys I really have a lot of respect for. I do, because when it comes down to it and you're in a match and you're working a match like that, right?
Yep.
Here I am watching a match thinking, if he really wanted to, this match would be over. If he really wanted to. There'd be nothing that Mr. Anderson could do.
No.
It's just like, it's like, okay, you're on the mat. I'm going to grab here. I'm going to grab here. And you're going to tap out. Okay. when I want you to. It's just like, but yeah, I'm really sorry I missed. And you know what? I've been watching a lot of Scott Hall stuff recently. I'm gonna take my time to watch some Kurt Angle, because I like to go back and watch. I think we've talked about this before. Since my return to wrestling, and since you got me interested in so many different things, I like to go back and watch just matches, not entire pay-per-views. You know, somebody says, "Hey, you got to watch the Hardy Boys against Edge and Christian, the cage match in Cleveland, No Mercy or whatever." If I got
So
that right.
good.
Yeah, it was like, wow. I like going back and watching matches like that. So I'll go back and watch some more Kurt Angle. Because how many years he spent in the WWE? Now, he won he was an Olympic champion in '96, I think, here in Atlanta.
That's right.
So when did he get into wrestling after that? How long did it take him to get into pro wrestling? Was it immediately after?
They tried to recruit him immediately after, but he didn't have it didn't work out because he told Bruce Pritchard, "Well, I can't lose." And so they were like, "Okay, see you later."
Right.
He went and tried to do some other stuff, and then he came back around, and they gave him an opportunity, but for much less money. But he had the best rookie year in the history of wrestling.
Wow.
Ever. Here's what I mean. He won the Intercontinental title. He won the European title. He won King of the Ring. He won the world title. Rookie year. First year. Isn't that crazy?
Do you know why he did?
He's the fucking best.
Yes, there's another reason too.
Why?
Everybody backstage is afraid that he'll stretch him.
Oh, God.
Okay, you got it. You want to become Intercontinental Champion? You got it. Yes, sir.
I think he was with WWE like 7 years. He spent more time with TNA, actually.
Oh, he did? Okay.
Yep.
But his legendary status was WWE, right? I mean, that's what put him on the map, obviously.
Yeah, of course.
That rookie year obviously put him on the map.
Didn't hurt.
And what year was that again? Okay. We're talking
2000.
2000. Okay.
So, when he's doing all this, he's doing this when The Undertaker's there.
Okay.
When Triple H is there.
Right.
When The Rock is there. When Stone Cold's there.
Sure. Big time stars.
And there he is.
Mm-hmm.
Just a fucking machine, man.
Yeah. And obviously throughout his career, he has had a lot of injuries, as most wrestlers have had. I like that. They tried to recruit him as an Olympian. I can't lose. That's funny.
He just didn't understand.
Yeah, of course he did.
But he grew up in a deal where wrestling was
yeah,
I don't know. This was viewed as not real, not serious entertainment. I mean, this is for kids. This is because he was an amateur wrestler.
Yeah, right. I get that.
But then when he really understood it, god dang, he took to it like a fish to water.
I think back in the day, wow. I think back in the day, and I'm talking about even before Kurt Angle.
Yeah.
There were probably, it's probably changed today, but you're talking about big time collegiate wrestlers who go on and perform in the Olympics. Take a look at it, pro wrestling as being beneath them.
Mm.
Does that make any sense to you? Now, I'm thinking back in the day, but probably now, because of the impact that wrestling has had on kids, probably kids who are amateur wrestlers today are thinking, maybe I could go in pro and make some money. But I'm thinking back in the day, that was not the case. Let's do a time check here. Give me what you got.
I'm at 2:08:57. Tap in. 2:08:59. Tap in. 2:09:02. Tap in. Speaking of tap, how about we're saying all that during a Kurt Angle match?
Yeah. Great false finish, man. Great false finish. Anyway, I just have a feeling that for most amateur wrestlers back in the day, and what I'm saying is back, let's say back in the 60s and 70s, many of them thought, you know what? I don't want to, that's making fun of my sport. Look at this shit, man. Look how easy he gets him over. I don't think he needed to help Kurt to get up and over.
No.
I think he could just deadlift you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're going to go over whether you want to or not.
Joe Rogan used to have this bit about Brock Lesnar. This is back when Brock was in the UFC.
Yeah.
And he's like, and Kurt Angle is probably a lot like that. Like, if you have a disagreement, it's going to go his way.
Exactly. And right here, this ankle lock.
Yeah.
There's no getting out of that. Wow, good flatliner. You know what? This is not a bad match.
Nope, 2.5 stars. And then we've still got the world title coming on next.
Yeah.
Flair's going to be here in his wheelchair too, so you're going to have fun with that.
Oh, boy. What was the angle that got it? Well, we'll talk about it when we see him. I like how they don't change the mat covers.
I mean, that is cool that they left it the whole rest
Yeah,
of it.
that is cool. You know, we would have covered it up.
Of course.
Yeah, we have like, I don't know how many mat covers we bring. Obviously, after somebody bleeds, you want to. And that's another thing, too. With the exception of Shannon Moore, you're not seeing much blood here, are you?
I want to mention in this era, there was a little byline in the Observer. Taz, Bubba Ray Dudley, Paul Heyman, and Tommy Dreamer all met on March 17th for dinner. The original reason wasn't business, but Taz and Bubba were trying to talk Dreamer and Heyman into coming in and doing an ECW invades TNA angle. Dreamer noted last week that he would be interested in going to TNA. Heyman has always said that he's not interested. What do you think about that?
If they would offer Heyman an all-you-can-eat buffet, he probably would have been interested, don't you think?
God, you're so mean.
No, I'm not mean. I was just trying to, I'm trying to make an observation here on this podcast where I make observations.
Oh, this is the observation podcast. I got it.
Yeah. At times. I wonder how much Paul ate that night at dinner.
You know, since I've been on the phone with you, I've ordered lunch. I'll be having a BLT salad today.
Oh, that's very good.
Yeah. Do you want to guess what's on a BLT salad?
Bacon, lettuce, tomato.
Oh, so you've had it?
Yeah.
Okay. I was wondering how you would know what's in it.
It's just a salad with
Hey,
bacon on it.
did I forget to tell you that
You did.
I slapped Pond Water Dave?
Whoa. Was that at your party?
Yeah.
Okay.
Slapped him several times.
Well, obviously, you're picking on little guys now.
No, he asked for it.
Okay. Would he walk up to you and say, "Would you please slap me, Conrad?"
Yes, kinda. That's a great accent, by the way.
Okay.
Look at this.
Well-
Is he gonna hit? He's having a change of. Oh, he did. Decided not to cheat.
Oh,
He's got the dog tag.
going for the trinket.
On 2 occasions, he's used the Warrior Medal to, in his own words, carve up the head of Kurt Angle. And it looks like Mr. Anderson is going to do it again.
God almighty.
He took forever to do that.
Yeah, he did. I'm on camera.
Anyway, after I slapped him several times, he still didn't he couldn't get it together. So I wound up hitting him with a ring light.
Okay.
So that happened.
Was he obnoxiously drunk? Is that the reason you slapped him?
No, he was just saying stupid stuff.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, there we got blood. I said we don't have blood, but now we got blood.
I like the way you use your voice when you say blood like that.
Yeah. Blood. Blood. He's bleeding.
Shorty Grill.
Tap in. Keep it sporty. You know, people could be sick of us saying that.
Oh, yeah. People are sick of it right now.
And here's the ankle lock, and that's the end of the show, boys. See? You only go grab the rope when he lets you. Really, really a good match, guys. Really a good match.
Pretty long. A little long for me. 17:36. The main event, though, going just under 15 minutes. It's AJ Styles and Abyss. And they're going to pull out a bunch of stops here. As you might imagine.
With Ric Flair and I guess Hogan, right?
Ric Flair in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
Ric Flair in a wheelchair. Somebody asked me the other day, hey man, what's the key to getting an autograph from Ric Flair? I'm like, what do you mean? Just he does it every weekend. Just go there, stand in line, pay your money, boom, done. No, I mean like out there. Oh, you mean like in the wild? Yeah, in the wild. And you're looking for tips. Yeah. Like, how can I make it happen? Well, you could be a person with special needs.
Yeah, okay.
You could be an Army veteran wearing your full dress blues or what have you.
Uh-huh.
You could be a small child.
Uh-huh.
Or you could be a very attractive lady. But if you look like me, you're going to need to stand in line and have some cash.
Exactly.
He's cutting a promo here.
A real American. I tried to have a straight up match with you tonight. Yeah, you're all hard. And you had to resort to cheap tactics to get the victory. And now, well, these people right here think that you're going to go home tonight and lay your head down on your pillow and rest easy. I know, Kurt. You know, Kurt, that the only thing you're going to be doing tonight is laying in bed with your eyes open, staring at the ceiling. And the word that's going to keep going through your head over and over again is Anderson. Anderson.
I get they're trying to go for something here, but it ain't working for me.
No, it's not, because it's dragging on and on and on.
Yeah, not working for me.
Yeah. The match worked.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I think Kurt just looked at the camera and said, how much longer? Didn't he do that right after he spit? He said something.
It's a long segment. I'm ready for the main event, man. You haven't seen much Abyss stuff, have you?
No. And I've only seen the AJ Styles that we saw very briefly in WCW and then some of his WWE stuff, but I haven't seen any of his TNA stuff.
Listen what old Yambag's saying.
Mr. Anderson, cheap tactics is what he says. The same thing that we've seen on 2 previous occasions from Mr. Anderson.
Mr. Anderson feels like he was, beaten and bloodied and battered out of here, so he wanted to get the last word, and he did.
He got it. Taz, let's set the stage. Destination X main event. It's on deck. It's AJ Styles to defend the TNA World Heavyweight Championship against the Monster Abyss. We talked about it earlier. They have met in the past. But this Abyss that AJ's going to face tonight, nothing like the Abyss that he's met before.
I agree, and I know you said that earlier, but let's be fair and call a spade a spade.
Okay.
This is a different AJ Styles. Also, he's motivated. He's got Ric Flair behind him, working with him, getting that head right, getting that cocky attitude going. Let's face it, AJ Styles, the TNA World Heavyweight Champion, he's living a dream, bro. He really is.
Couldn't agree with you more. Ladies and gentlemen, it's on deck. It's our Destination X main event. TNA World Heavyweight Championship, AJ Styles, Abyss, and it's next.
I'm so sick and tired of watching you be afraid of your own shadow. Right now, it stops. You understand that? This is the only thing that ever loved me. I destroyed my body to earn this ring. Do you understand that this is my purposes? From this point forward, 10 times a man, 10 times a wrestler, 10 times stronger than Hogan. Yes, sir. The immortal Hulk Hogan gave his Hall of Fame ring to Abyss. Are you kidding me? The only thing you'll ever be good for is shut. Why don't you do everybody a favor and take that Hall of Fame? What? How you doing?
Abyss is forced to witness this brutal assault.
You'll never counter any of it. Open mic. You will never shake. You will never back.
Abyss feeding off the power of the Hulk Hogan Hall of Fame ring, just busted right through the cup.
Yeah, it's really hard for me to see you go out there like that.
Shoot, this is the last time for me. He's got my back.
Wind him up. Down. Black Hole Slam. Abyss just pinned the TNA World Heavyweight Champion. Just feel the power of the Hulkamaniacs. Floor tells the whole story. My TNA title at Destination X.
Monster Abyss challenges the phenomenal AJ Styles with the Nature Boy Ric Flair in his corner for the TNA World Heavyweight Championship.
How about that guy's voice?
Yeah, don't like it.
How about this Dollar Tree robe that they got AJ wearing?
Hey, was that Ric Flair's daughter and Hogan's daughter in that video?
Brooke Hogan.
The strategy will be the same as it's been since Ric Flair 3 months ago walked into my locker room and said, together, AJ, we'll go to the moon. Win at all costs and nothing less. And that's exactly what I'm prepared to do. Defend my world heavyweight title. In addition to that, teach Abyss a lesson. And that lesson is you don't try to break the back of a 61-year-old man. Who do you think you are? Who do you think you are trying to take the TNA World Heavyweight title from the champ? I don't care if you have Hogan's ring, Superman's cape, Samson's hair, Batman's, whatever it is that makes Batman tough.
Cow.
I don't care. The result will be the same as it's always been. I beat you, period. Because at the end of the night, I'll be the one standing with my TNA World Heavyweight title, styling and profile.
Over to you, JB.
Thank you very much, Christy Hemme. I'm here with the 6'8" monster Abyss, and we just heard from the phenomenal AJ Styles, who seems awfully confident in his chances tonight.
Why wouldn't he be confident, JB? He's the world champ. And he has Ric Flair. Or what's left of him on his side. What AJ doesn't understand, though, is that he and I are from different sides of the same coin. He's got Ric Flair. But I have the power of Hulk Hogan and all the Hulkamaniacs running through my body. AJ, you talk a great game. You say that you're going to make me pay for what I did to Ric Flair last week. The reality is, Ric Flair practically begged me to put him into that wheelchair. So after all this time and all this buildup, we're finally here, AJ, you and me, for the TNA World Heavyweight title. And when I'm done with you, AJ, there's not going to be anything left. So, AJ, what you gonna do when Abyssomania and the power of all the Hulkamaniacs runs wild and crazy on you?
Abyssomaniacs.
Oh man. And
We're
the
really-
power of the ring. The power of the ring.
Hey, I got that belt. It's on the shelf behind me.
Oh,
I know they were using that one here.
The power of the ring. I like how Mike says he drew from the power of the Hulk Hogan ring to snap those handcuffs. That was good. Hokey, but good.
Speaking of hokey, have you seen the new Batman yet?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. You told me that you went with Kingston.
Right. It's not the best Batman ever, but it was okay. It was okay.
Would you see it again?
Yeah, I do want to see it again. I mean, when it comes on video, I'm going to buy it for my collection.
Oh, you want it on a shelf, you mean?
Well, my stuff's not on the shelf anymore. Unfortunately, my stuff's is in the Apple cloud, so to speak.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to ask, though. I mean, are you buying DVDs and Blu-rays and putting them on a shelf, or are you doing the digital jam?
I'm doing the digital stuff.
Yeah.
Which is kind of creepy or scary if you think about it, right? Because I really don't have anything. And if Apple wants to say, oh, we're out of business.
You know, I don't think that's going to happen, but I will tell you this. I've seen that they've changed some things.
They have?
I had songs on my phone that are no longer there.
Where it's songs that you downloaded yourself and put into iTunes?
So there's an old David Allan Coe song, If That Ain't Country.
Yeah.
I'm sure you know that. If that ain't country.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah. There was a line in there that probably should have never been in there. It was a bad word.
Okay.
Not a word that should have ever been used.
All right.
But it was used.
Okay.
Apple has since gone back and taken that out of everybody's phone and made it available for you to re-download, but that word has changed.
Wow.
So it was a really bad word, and they changed it to its more acceptable word.
Okay.
But they changed it. And so I just put two and two together because it would always be like a moment where I would like ride the volume, like, don't want to play that in the car with kids, that part.
Right. Right.
But now it's not there. Which on the one hand, I think is awesome. I love that. Like, why would we intentionally hurt anyone's feelings with a song or make somebody feel a certain type of, get rid of it. Who cares? It's not worth that. But at the same time, I'm like, damn, they're just taking songs out of my phone now. That's a little weird.
Yeah. You know what?
I'm glad the song's changed. I want to be clear. I'm just saying, to your point, what if they decide, people shouldn't be watching that? We're going to take that back.
Exactly. Exactly. They are determining what you should listen to.
Yes.
They are. Now they're going to be determining what you watch. That is a great point. A great point. It's scary, man. These I'm not getting into politics, but these high-tech companies, they scare me, man. Because they know we are tethered to it in many ways. Our entertainment, everybody looks at their phone.
Yes.
You see anybody looking at their phone here? No, not really. But fast forward 12 years, everybody's looking at their phones. Everybody.
Hot start here. Abyss just not waiting.
And is Flair still on the rampway?
On the ramp in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
Wheelchair Flair, Daddy.
It's been a very good event to watch.
Yeah, it's a pretty good show. I can't believe we got 82% thumbs down. I mean, I'm not going to say it's my favorite wrestling I've watched. It isn't bad.
Yep.
But then again, we're watching it on the low, and I guess somebody paid like a full pay-per-view price.
I did. Oh, I see what you're saying.
You didn't spend $50 on it or whatever.
No, I didn't. I spent whatever it is, $8 a month or whatever. It's weird seeing AJ without his long locks. It's almost you don't recognize him at first.
I prefer this AJ. This is how I knew him.
Yeah.
So now it looks like he's got soccer mom hair now to me.
Who is the girl with Rick? Is she a valet, a interviewer, a wrestler, or just an extra? All that with him.
I'm not sure. I wasn't watching wrestling in 2010 here, so I didn't see this as it happened. Look at wheelchair Flair.
Still cutting his freaking promo. You shut up.
Abyss has got AJ in a difficult position out here. He's got the champ throttled with that attempt that looked like it might be a choke slam, but now learning all the dirty tricks from the dirtiest player in the game, Flair.
These guys have been wrestling in TNA, man, since, it felt like in 2004 they were wrestling every week, and here they are 6 years later still doing it. Two real deal TNA originals, AJ Styles and Abyss.
Abyss didn't wrestle in ECW?
No.
Okay.
Oh my God. Did you see how far he threw? That was
great spot.
Y'all you should give that to somebody. Let them steal it.
Yeah.
Seriously. Next time y'all have a ramp like that, what a cool spot that would be.
That is very good.
Hey, what's going on with Joey Janela?
I haven't seen Joey in a long time. I don't know.
Does he still work with y'all?
He was kind of like Brian Cage to me. Didn't see him in a long, long time. Then all of a sudden, Cage apparently re-signs. I haven't seen Joey since. Hell, I don't know the last time I saw him. What's out there on the internet about him? Anything?
A lot of stuff.
A lot of stuff?
Yeah.
Okay.
People are saying he's saying he's not going to resign. He's also saying that maybe the communication hasn't been great, but I think like a lot of those original contracts are coming due.
Yeah.
I think especially like around May.
Okay.
You know, the first AEW show, as you know, because you were there front row, was in Vegas, Double or Nothing at the end of May. So I assume late May, early June, a whole lot of contracts will start coming due.
Right.
It's weird to see the company evolve and change. And and as you and I are talking or recording, people are talking about, hey, what's next for Cody? And I think a lot of people just never imagined they'd see the day that he would be leaving AEW.
That's still kind of surreal when I think about it here months later, or a month or so later. It's surreal that he's not with us. And And I guess the report we talked about is he's signed with the WWE.
Yeah.
And I really hope he does well. Nothing but the best, because he was good to me, and I consider him a good friend. And it's weird, but that's the way the business is. You know, I've said, you know, the business changes. Just when you see, you never say never. You don't. I mean, we could see more happening. We could see more people coming to us and more people leaving us. We could. It'll be interesting to see what the Ring of Honor dynamic brings to us and to the business. I don't know their roster.
Yeah.
I don't know what they have.
I don't think they have one anymore.
Okay. Yeah. So it may end up that many of the AEW guys and girls end up in Ring of Honor. I don't know.
That made sense to me, because it did feel like, you know, Tony was sort of stockpiling talent.
Right.
But now
right.
with Ring of Honor, well, shit, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it makes plenty of sense. So we'll see. I mean, when Brian Cage re-signed, I thought, wow, how are we going to use him? And then he gets Ring of Honor, and I go, I get it, right? Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. There's no business like it. It's one of the things that intrigues me. There's just nothing like it. I guess it's just another form of entertainment. The entertainment business is, you know, full of rumors and innuendos and questions and
insecurities.
Insecurities. Yeah. That's good. Good way to say it. Insecurities. I was going to say, you know,
paranoia.
Woo. Paranoia. And I guess that paranoia in wrestling just has filtered down through the years, because it was years ago in the business when you weren't being used that you thought, well, my career's over. But guys get a lot of money now.
Yeah, they do.
And you think, you know what? Just bide your time, do what they tell you, enjoy your life and the money that you're making. You're getting paychecks every 2 weeks, good paychecks, and not be concerned about your placement or if you win or lose, because they may circle around and use you again. But they all think that, well, I'm not being used, and when my contract ends, they will say, well, we're not using him, let's get rid of him or her. Just a very unique business. And you know what? I think like that too. When my contract comes to an end, I'm thinking, I wonder if they still want to use me.
Yeah. I mean, you told us last week you wanted to give your gig to Ian Riccaboni.
Here we go.
Didn't you say that?
No, I didn't. Another one of your lies. That's okay. We've come to know them and appreciate them.
What, my lies?
Yeah, they're nifty.
Yeah. Real sporty.
Real sporty.
Tappy on hood.
On hood.
I look forward to you hitting on hood on Dynamite this week.
These two are having a pretty good match.
Man, I don't think they ever had a bad one. I really like these guys.
Abyss, for a guy his size, can really get around the ring, man. The mask, though, and the long hair are very Cactus Jack-like. Or Mankind-like.
Yep. It's like Mankind and Kane to me.
Yeah.
You know, he's an agent backstage for WWE these days.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
I'm glad he's got a job.
Doing something real spouty, something real nifty.
Cuz.
Tap in. You know, just tap
on hood. Jesus Christ.
I can't believe I got you doing it.
It's freaking hilarious, man. When I heard it and didn't see it, I'm thinking, oh, this is like a satire, right?
No, it is not.
No, when you see it, you know that he's believing what he's saying.
I don't even know why I like it so much.
We got something real nifty, Kev. Real nifty 5, yo, on hood. Or should I say, real spotty, like a spotty issue on hood. The Crip Mac, no jumper interview on hood. Featuring, Kev, a 5 Miss Lupe 4-6 and the Spotty Cribs coming this week. Y'all tap in with it, Kev. It's something real nifty. It's something real spotty on hood. We got a great interview, Kev.
On hood kills me.
And do know asking all the nifty spotty questions. Y'all shout out Lupe, Kev. Neighborhood Crow on hood. Y'all tap in. No jumper, Kev. No jumper, Kev. No jumper, Kev. No jumper, Kev. Hey, Kev. No jumper. Coming up this motherfucking week.
Well, he hung in there with. I thought there'd be a lot of motherfuckers in that one, but just one at the end.
That's the same clip every time, Tony.
Oh, I know it is.
That just gets all over me. I can't stop it.
Look at this from the big guy.
Shots to the rib cage. Was he biting? Yeah, biting and gnawing on the head of Abyss.
It's desperate. The champion is desperate.
Should be.
I don't blame him.
Yeah, a move like that. If Abyss could have hit some kind of a suplex out of the corner.
Watch this. Watch AJ.
Curtains for Styles.
Watch AJ.
Wow.
Wow.
Jesus.
Unreal.
Spiral tap pin and no.
How about that move, dude? AJ's so talented.
They should replay it.
Yeah, it's TNA, Bubba.
Yeah.
They can't do that. Cuz.
No jumper. No jumper. No spinner. Cuz on hood. Oh, man. Oh, man. Great, great, great. How come Hogan didn't come out? Is Hogan not in the... Well, I guess we're going to see him, but I thought he would have come out with him.
Big bump by your man.
Andrew freaking Thomas.
And
screaming, screaming.
Oh, the low blow by Styles. When Abyss had his back turned, Flair going to toss the championship belt into AJ so that he can use it on Abyss.
What the hell did Flair straight up? The ref would, I don't think it was, I don't know if it was Cologne. Oh, look at AJ. Here comes AJ. Oh,
shot with the championship belt directly into the head, directly into the face of Abyss. It's like Flair had, if we can see the referee, Andrew Thomas is being helped out. It was either like a spray, maybe it was like some mace or
it might have been. You couldn't see it on our monitor here, but they just, medical staff just took the.
I mean, they're chanting for Hogan. Here he comes.
Flair, like, stuck.
I can't believe it. No ref for Flair to go. Yeah, even though he's in a wheelchair, Flair still interferes. Says, Chelsea, get out of here.
Dude, how funny is this?
This is freaking
Hulk
hilarious.
Hogan wheeling away Ric Flair in a wheelchair, cuh. He got him in a wheelchair, cuh.
Yeah, Flair stuck in the chair and getting a ride from Hulk Hogan up the ramp. That's the way to even things up. It's hot.
Well, right now,
I'm gonna do it. Watch AJ.
Here he comes.
450 splash. Here we go. Oh, boy.
Fans are into this one too, guys.
AJ's gonna throw it.
Man, In an alternate universe, how fun would AJ Styles and AEW have been?
Wow.
He'd be tearing it up with the Young Bucks and Danielson and Omega. My gosh.
Yeah, Omega and Styles would be great, wouldn't it? Wow.
Oh, be real nifty, cuz.
He's hulking up. He's sporty.
He's abyssing up.
Is that what it's called? Abyssing up?
I mean,
he's doing the exact same thing, pointing to him.
I'm just saying, if he can have Abyssomaniacs.
Oh, God.
Choke slam?
Is he going to do a leg drop on top?
Oh. Abyss used the power of the ring to choke slam AJ Styles through the ring. I guess they removed some boards during the whole, if I had to guess, during the Hogan Flair thing.
Yeah.
And yeah, there he is at the bottom. Hebner has no choice but to rule it a no contest. So that's the end.
Wow, that's kind of a shitty way to end it. I mean, it's a great spot.
Here's Hogan.
The match can't continue, so well, Hogan bringing the TNA World Championship. Not so fast.
My God, wheelchair Flair is the best.
There's no way for the match to continue. There's no ring. Flair is living here. Oh, no. What? No. Well, come on, Nash is in a wheelchair. Well, he was in a wheelchair.
Hebner took a bump. Oh my God. Abyss nearly fell right on AJ. That's how he would get hurt the most.
Yes, exactly.
Directly out of the wheelchair. Wait, look, he's got what Chelsea got. Chelsea's got that, whatever that spray is, that mace or that cologne, whatever. It directs the spray directly into the face of Flair and blinds the Nature Boy. Look at Flair. He looks like a fish out of water. Flair flopping around.
So what did you think overall? Thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs in the middle?
Thumbs up. Because who is this in the ring now?
It's Desmond Wolfe, the former, we know him as Nigel McGuinness.
Okay, right. So he was part of Flair's contingent, I guess. Maybe they. Yeah. They got to sell and stagger around.
There he is in the hole.
They got to put Flair in the hole.
Flair going in the hole was your favorite part, wasn't it? You know, and I have it on good authority. He's been going in the hole for over 50 years.
Yeah. Oh, God. The power of the ring, man. And now we know that Hulkamania will live forever because the power is in the ring. Power went from him to the ring, into the ring. Not the wrestling ring, but the Hall of Fame ring, the ring of power. It would be Lord of the Rings 4 if they wanted to build a movie around it.
I feel strongly that saving money is important. You know, if it's not something we worry about now, boy, we are really going to worry about it later. And I want to help you get out of debt faster and do it with cheaper monthly payments. I'm talking to you if you're in a 30-year loan. Now is the time to take years off of your loan. We're routinely helping our listeners cut 5, 10, even 15 years off their loan. And you can do this without perfect credit, with no money out of pocket. You've just got to start at savewithconrad.com.
Tony, this was a fun episode. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I did too. I had a good time, like I always do.
Next week, we're going to be watching Conan and Vincent, Wrath and Kenny Chaos, Rick Steiner, Scott Norton, Booker T, and Chris Adams, Chris Jericho, and Jerry Flynn.
Oh, really?
Bagwell and Norman Smiley. Kidman and Ray against Benoit and Malenko. And Hollywood Hogan and Diamond Dallas Page. Next week, we're taking a look at the March 29th, 1999 episode of Nitro from Toronto, Ontario, Canada. I think it might be the first Canadian Nitro, and we're going to be talking about it next week.
And I got a Tony Schiavone story about that event.
Can't wait. But right now, Tony, it looks like it's about that time.
Absolutely. And ladies and gentlemen, it's time for Bitch Slap, as Conrad Thompson will go one-on-one against Pondwater Dave. And they both have toed up to each other. They are looking, Dave is kind of small. His forehead comes up to the bottom of Conrad's very sizable boobs. And here we go. First bitch slap is for Conrad. And so there they are on Hood, and Conrad's got the first slap. Oh, down goes Pondwater Dave. Is he going to be able to make a comeback? Apparently not. For Conrad Thompson, I'm Tony Schiavone. We're desperately out of time. Tape machines are rolling. See you next week on
Patreon. Patreon.com/WHW Monday. And of course, adfreeshows.com.